Hello, we should be live. Today we will be finishing off the story of Battle of the Valentines. We are going to be covering parts episode 5 and 4 actually, as well as the epilogue. So let's just go ahead and do that. And I forgot to use my stamina again, but it's fine, it doesn't actually cap out, even after like 3 hours of usage. Oh yeah, I was about to do my, like the quest just out of force of habit. But no, we will be continuing with episode 4. Let's do this. Oop. So we were last left with us advancing into the next stage, which is kind of funny since if there's more than 2 stages, then we're going to be covering all of them in this last part, even though the first 2 parts seems to be just stage 1. But yeah. Stage 1 was complete, and Kimo had his arc. And hey, Prisma, nice to see you again, joining us for the 3rd time. But yeah, Kimo finished his arc in terms of him being able to overcome his, anxiety about not really being able to keep up in skill with his fellow upperclassmen as a first-year student. But I don't know, it seemed like a classic kind of sports manga arc. I don't really know how to describe it, but he got over it somehow because he had chocolates he wanted to give to us, even though we never really talked to him in every previous event. So that was kind of down there, but nice anyways. And also he was in a very sports anime kind of ending, crying while everyone was cheering. It was pretty cute. But yeah, after that, we then saw a evolutionary intermission where we were participating for the audience members, as well as, people who dropped out from the first stage, to do some sort of a show with, like, us versus Valentine combattiers, such as Sas and Help and Ketchi and Bathim. Hello, Edwin, and hello, Ezekiel. Nice to see you all again. I am just recapping what happened in the last episode because, long as a black screen loading forever. But, in case you guys forgot, which I didn't. Here we are. This whole time, something has been weighing heavily on Kengo's mind. Something he just hasn't been able to shake. Ooh, Kengo arc! So this actually, his arc began in the first episode, but kind of just left off intermittently, or in the middle of that, before it finished. He can't quite seem to pin down exactly what it is. Still, it's there, and it's stowing. Something within him has been making him more and more anxious as the hours wear on. He can't seem to find the words to describe it, but nor can he continue to pretend it's not there. Every moment he endures, it makes his heart ache a little bit more. If at any moment he were to suddenly grasp just what this mysterious something is, he fears something else inside of him might make him snap. Despite sitting on the powder keg, however, he presses on with all his might, if only so he can find the resolve to hold himself together when the source of his turmoil becomes clear. Kengo Takabushi has always been a man who speaks his mind solely through his fists. No matter the problem, the solution can invariably be found through a passionate fight. Somehow, he's always felt that the only way to make himself understood by others. He got this peculiar trait from his father. But such a peculiar trait has, until now, only served to isolate Kengo from those around him. Oh my gosh, original backstory! It's not just retelling the lore of, some mythology that exists. It's actually an original story, oh my god. His reputation steadily declines as people overwhelmingly come to consider him a delinquent, a brute, and a general nuisance. And in the face of this contempt, Kengo can say nothing, as the criticisms levied against him are all valid. His anger and resentment just grow stronger with each dismissal, while his nature prevents him from properly expressing these feelings through words, creating a vicious cycle. With nowhere to call home, he's always been a wanderer, a vagabond, passing from place to place until he's no longer welcome. I guess this is how he was in Chapter 3 anyways. Even his closest associates and childhood friends from Kabukicho have never really been able to keep him in check. So one day, he sets forth in desperation to the only remaining place he can think of where he might just be able to fit in. Ikebukuro, the city of violence. And this is to be his last resort, the only place left for him with bridges unburned. Hey, got the arrival, nice to see you again. Perhaps there, you might just meet the special someone, or more likely, become involved in that one perfect fight that changes him forever. See, in Chapter 3, we kind of were chasing after Kengo when he randomly disappeared. He seemed to be already involved with the Berserkers and Ikebukuro street fights, but it was kind of just mentioned without any contextual background. I guess we're getting it now. After all, everything always comes down to a fight in the end. Nothing ever ties him down or holds him back. He's never outwardly carried any sort of burden. He's never been anyone's yes man or anyone's follower. And he's never felt dismayed by any of this. It's always been enough for him. One could say he's completely given himself over to fate, to do with him as it will. Hit me. In his arc with C-Tree. Because of this, whenever he crosses paths again with someone he's met before, it's always like a fresh start for him, like they're meeting for the very first time. And his main story arc was Oniwaka, as well as a Black Snow Mountain. Unless aspiring to be better themselves, he and his opponent face one another again with fresh perspectives to challenge each other's newfound strengths. However, through the wily machinations of that same fate, Kengo has now found someone to rely upon, someone he can call his partner. This changes everything. Again and again, he changes. Every step of the way sees a new Kengo Takabushi. He certainly has changed. And in the midst of all these changes comes this Valentine's Day, which has left his mind in tumult. His thoughts keep turning back to the day before Claude's proposition for this event. On that day, Kenko has been probing the streets, looking for something to gift his partner. Maybe some chocolates, he thought. How did he meet up with C-Tree? He happened to run into his fellow classmate while he was out, and the two of them got to talking. Eventually, the topic turned to chocolate, as might be expected of this time of year. He told his classmate he was out looking for chocolates to buy for someone, and the classmate innocently asked him, "Are they for a friend? Or are they for someone more than a friend?" Kengo found himself at a loss for an answer, so he dodged the question. But he's been asking it to himself ever since, painfully aware that the time to decide is fast approaching. Perhaps he hasn't changed so much at all. Perhaps he's still the same old Kengo he's always been. For the Kengo of the present faces his problems just as the Kengo of the past did. Not through words, but with his fists. Always fighting to determine who's stronger. For Kengo, that's always been the answer to everything. It's the only answer he knows. But this time around, it seems like he's going to have to search for something more. Battle of the Valentines, White Light of Glory, Episode 4, Tag Match of Destiny. But yeah, in the previous episode, I was describing Kimo's arc, but we also had a Seth arc, which was completely unnecessary, to be honest. But, yeah, Leon and she showed up too, and they did a thing, and they fought, and now Seth had his arc with his brother recapitulated. That is Ash and Seth. The audience attentively watches as the Battle of the Valentines rages on. I guess they're just continuing after that kerfuffle. And the winner of the first match is Kengo Takabushi! Alright, now we're talking. No one can stop me now. Just as I predicted. Nicely done, Kengo. The Kuroik, side-eyeing Kengo's match from the neighboring arena, speaks these words mostly to himself, genuinely excited by what he's just seen. Those are quite heroic tactics, undoubtedly reflective of one who lives by his own tenets, as all true heroes do. Kroik suddenly has a premonition. He feels just on the cusp of remembering something very important. Perhaps, by the conclusion of the next match, he'll have the answers he's been seeking. Ooh, he's like, calm down. I must press on and fight for the battle before me, if only to recall that the man I once was. And we have another winner. The second match goes to Fergus McCroy. You fought well as a worthy opponent, but in the end, you were just another page in the story of my youth. And the winner of the third match is Human Nakatsugi. Thank you so much for the fight. You inspired me to try even harder for the next one. Belly. Oh no, not the belly. And we've got another winner. The fourth match goes to Araston. I mean, this is the perfect opportunity to use the selected last name I picked, but sure, why not? Thanks for a great fight. I hope I didn't rough you up your belly up too much. Let me kiss it all better. After the conclusion of the Battle of the Valentines bonus stage, Stage 2 has finally begun and is off to a rip-roaring start. Oh, this is Stage 2? Fortunately, you and all other members of your party have successfully won your qualifying matches and will be participating in whatever this secretive event yet has in store. Okay, so it's not quite out yet. So there were some participation matches or, pools matches from within. From this vantage point, I am reminded of those fearless, menacing warriors of my own world. Your own world, Father? You mean Yggdrasil? Yes, Ark. There, in the country of Asgard, there were once two warriors who fought on behalf of the Ether King, Odin. Known as the Radiant Ones, these warriors of light enjoyed a prestige equal even to that of Thor, the almighty Lord of Thunder. God, Searcher's voice is gonna destroy my vocal cords. The audience gathered, and Ikebukuro continued to speak in hushed tones in the awe-inspiring battles playing out before them. In the midst of this fervor stands Claude, with a contented smile beaming from his face. Be still, our heart! Our gladiators have finally returned to their forum, or perhaps the forum has found its true gladiators. It seems that the more straightforward format of Stage 2, initially intended to be Stage 1, has proven quite successful. Okay, so these qualifying matches are Stage 2, which is just, pools, except not as large as the original pools. Indeed, not every pitch can need be a curveball from the game to be spectacular. Sometimes, a straight shot is more than enough. Yet mustn't forget the zeal we are witnessing here today is due not to the format, but to the participants for themselves. It seems any apprehension I had was unfounded. Everyone seems to be climbing the ranks with surprisingly little difficulty. Despite the thickly layered walls around him, the cheers of the crowd are fully audible to Moritaka with perfect clarity and volume, such is their intensity. The lobby, previously restricted to participants only, is now filled to the brim with people, including Shuichi and his entourage as they arrive to help out behind the scenes. Is it any wonder? They are putting on a show after all. I'd say their winning streak still has legs too. What do you have in your hands there, Moritaka? Are those meal tickets? They're from Snow. There are food stalls out there by the arena, and we volunteers are free to partake, he said. He told me to hand them out and let you all know. After all, catching the scent of the food, I must say I'm quite ready to redeem mine. Hey, Azinu. What you missed was I was just recapping the first 2 streams, it was pools from the outside of Ikebukuro, and then they moved in, and it was Kimo's arc and Seth's arc. And then what you missed in this actual stream was Kengo continuing on his own arc, because that was never actually finished, in terms of him trying to figure out whether, we are his friend or more than friends. That's still to be announced, how that turns out. But yeah, we are finding out more about the details of the tournament, Stage 2, which just so happened to be the original Stage 1 before they changed their plans. And it seems that we kind of just did Stage 2 in passing in terms of just qualifying pools from the inside, so, properly ranked tournament matches. The ruler of Ikebukuro certainly does think a few steps ahead, doesn't he? How considerate of him. I could eat as well. Please, allow me. In lieu of handing out these tickets, I simply procure your provisions as well as and bring them back. Oh, that's rather considerate of you too. Thank you, Moritaka. Just be sure you leave some for the paying customers. I have no intention of overbuying. I swear I will bring back only as much as we need. If you'll all excuse me then. Climbing the ranks with little difficulty indeed. Even Moritaka can see how suspicious it is. No, he is quite perceptive. Sometimes I read these out and I can barely, understand what they're talking about because all the energy goes into, me trying to read it properly. So, my bad. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about then. There is only one of the 4 whose wins are particularly close calls, however. Go, Lisa. He's unfocused. Only gotten this far through luck of the draw on the opponents. Give him a real fight and he'll crumble. Is he talking about McCormick? But why am I speculating when I've got a true expert with me? I'd love to hear my genius brother's take on the matter. There's no conclusive data, and certainly no reason to expend any significant effort finding any on something so trivial. Oh, fine. If you must know. I think his entire approach to winning is flawed. He's abandoned his own fighting style, his own role. Since we do have a vested interest in the outcome, we should probably continue poking at him and see if he bites. Well said, dear brother. Leave everything to me. It's my job to do the wise man's dirty work, after all. No problem. Read it again to understand it and discuss. Yeah, in the very least, I want to have a, enough understanding to connect the strings together. Of course, I might miss some details, but, there's only so much oxygen that can go into this brain with each breath. I suppose that means I'll have to leave your side, though. Garmer, do look after my brother while I'm gone, will you? You are the cornerstone of this alliance between our guild and Ikebukuro's, so I'm counting on you. Garmer? Garmer, sleeping. Do slap. Warm and comfy. Leave Garmer be. What are we to do with you? My brother's lap is a national treasure, Sleeping on it is tantamount to treason. I updated with my MC last name. Yeah, I have my last name here too, but it's it didn't show. That's what I was mentioning it earlier. They're reading out our names. The referee was for the winners of stage 2, and then they just said Ayrton. I was like, bruh, come on. You said everyone else's last name. So, Garmer, protect duel. But Shuichi and Moritaka, both here. Garmer, just want sleep. Moritaka's gone to get food, and I'll be heading out for a bit as well. Until I'm back, you're all he's got. Duo, Lisa. Is Duo okay? Duo's face troubled. Duo's stomach, maybe? Ah, it's nothing, Armor. Don't worry. Do you see my duel, Lisa? That means there's nothing to worry. It's just that this person reminds me of a former friend of mine. Hey, it's Bertro! And I'm hoping I can somehow save that friend before it's too late. That's why this data is so important. Who resembles Bertro is the question. Like, I suspected they were talking about McCroy because, you know, he's not exactly using his swords or anything to full capacity, but who knows? Master Claude, I've returned. The second stage matches will soon be ending. Afterwards, we'll enter an extended recess before commencing the final stage. Excellent. Please inform the gladiators. They may take all the time they need to recuperate before the final push. As you wish. Meanwhile, in the main lobby of the Ikebukuro Colosseum, an impressively diverse line of food and drink stalls have been lined up from one end of the room all the way to the other, each one perfectly coordinated with surrounding decor. Whoa, this is incredible. It's like the food court at a baseball stadium. I wonder if they have any sort of Ikebukuro Colosseum special? Something that really captures the character of this place. They sure did go all out for this event. There's a lot more of everything here. Night and day from how it was before. Such bustle! Such fervor! Well, something up like this, it feels less like an event and more like a party, does it not? Just a little. Never mind. What do we eat? Wait, is that Valentine's fried noodles? Welcome! What'll it be? Oh, hey, fancy meeting you here. How about some Valentine's fried noodles? Knock down to get a free sparkling drink and a collectible bottle sporting a familiar face. Figured you'd be here somewhere. Don't you have detective work to do? That'll be in Christmas. That'll be 2 Christmases from now. Oh, don't give me that. At least I get 2 variants and you still don't have your first one. You try earning enough to pay the bills, then maybe you'll change your tune. By the way, there's no chocolate in these noodles, so you know. Figured I'd make that clear since everyone else here around... everything else around here seems covered in that stuff. What we do instead is fry them up in a heart shape, then top the noodles with the mountain with rainbow, ginger, and pork. You gotta try him. Sounds like the perfect Valentine's dish for meat lovers. The smell of him is mouthwatering. I do love me my meat. In my nice one. I'll take 7 helpings then. I'll make sure they're all fresh. I'm counting on you, Noodle Man. Noodle Man. Coming right up. I mean, hey, I'm a detective. Show me a little respect here. Sheesh. Make the noodles, Noodle Man. Get to it. Oh, shootin'. I mean, oh, you finally made it. Sorry to have started eating without you, but we were getting pretty grumbly over here. Yo, what's up? All you party people? Can you hear us and shooting out there cheering you on? My time in the ring is at an end, but I'll keep rooting on for you from the sidelines. Think of me as your second. Though I do regret not giving those I've beaten so far a chance at a rematch, so make sure you do me proud out there too. Hey, X-Lay on the action, mate, Octay. We're on break now, meow. Let's just take it easy and chow down on some kibble. Hey, glad to see you're all getting along. This is a real dinner party vibe. A splendid party it is. Of course, any party I'm invited to, I'm obliged to graciously attend. What? You in a celebrating mood too? Well then yeah, join us. Let's have a toast. It's just yours, but still. I've made merry with far less exciting libations in my time. Give me your glass now. Say when. How delightful. This food court has some real precarious stuff in it, though. Like, what's no special stamina set supposed to be? Oh, they've got burger patties with sunny side up eggs on top. That's like the food you find in a baseball stadium. Alright, calm down. How about normal food? Can I try one of these? I get you're the baseball guy, but that doesn't mean you have to be the baseball food guy. Just gonna keep that stand open after all. Hey, Bastion, step back a little, would you? I'm not exactly in a partying mood right now. Well, aren't we a little shy? I thought my little Seti loved a good party. Parties are fine, but... Oh, wait, no. I'm a lone wolf, and lone wolves don't do crowds. Give it up, Seth. Besides, you're more of a jackal than you are a wolf. Once Bastion's got his size set in you, he'll chase you to hell and give it and back. You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Ah, fine. You want me to party with that badly? I guess I can join the fun. Pass me some of those noodles. Same. There you go. Is it really okay to take it this easy? We do have to fight again after this. Well, whatever. We're in the food courts. Let's dig in. Itadakimasu. You do bring up a good point, though. All this fighting and partying is fun, but it sure doesn't feel like a typical Valentine celebration. Well, battle is in the name, too. Besides, some say that confessing one's feeling is the toughest fight of them all. There's a big difference between arena fighting and asking people out, though. The two are definitely an odd match. You think so? I find that hard to agree with, personally. I don't say the two go hand in hand. How so, bro? It's not like your chocolates must do. There's no pressure like in a real fight. If you'll indulge me in a bit of reminiscing, I can explain. There was a time when, after a successful hunt, I'd host a party. The guests and I would carve and roast the beast's flesh together, talking and laughing merrily as we did so. It was great fun. I guess in a lot of ways, that is pretty similar to right now. My point exactly. And after participating in such similar celebratory scenes here in Tokyo, I've come to a conclusion. Maybe I'll just turn down my volume a bit. I asked myself, what is it that makes us so naturally impart our love, friendship, and gratitude upon each other? And I realized the answer is each other. One cannot celebrate Valentine's, host a party, or even fight by oneself. It's become ever clearer with each event that there's nothing more important than gathering and celebrating together. As he speaks that final word, McCroy swirls the juice in his cup and looks down at it, his distorted face reflected back at him with a myriad of emotions painted on it. Can't argue with that. It's hard to express what you're truly feeling just by giving someone chocolates. I guess looking at and Belle isn't all that different than being a lovey-dovey, when you think of it that way. Coming to terms with one's true desires is most important to Belle of them all. When you're riddled with uncertainty, that alone can be the thing that truly drives you. Is it through today's exchange of chocolates that blows the ice that I've been able to realize and articulate this truth? And to do so while enjoying food and drinks among you all, no less. Therefore, I must give my thanks, for the miracle has been to stand by your side all this time. Thus, I feel compelled to say aloud, and with the greatest resolve. Happy Valentine's Day to you all! I love each and every one of you. Hey Joe, my number one fan. What's up? That's so sweet actually. Is he drinking juice? We are just continuing with the story, and, you know, as they do during these intermission-like periods, they ramble on about stuff, but, you know. You sound like just like my old man. It takes two to fight and all that junk. But yeah, we're just like post stage 2 right now. By the way, stage 2 happened in like the blink of an eye. Oh, come on, who's calling in now? Oh crap, here, partner, you talk to him. New phone, who dis? Is that Shiro? Hello? Moshi Mosh? Kango, why did it take you so long to pick up? You're planning on staying out all night, aren't you? If you aren't coming back to campus tonight, that's fine. There's still time to submit form, but you have to tell me. I can hear him from all the way over here. He's so freaking loud. But I guess if it's a war of words, that's one fight I can never win against the likes of him. Are you even listening to Genko? I need to know what Arthur is doing tonight too. Oh, whoops, haven't submitted the form either. So sorry to worry you, Shiro, but thanks for the concern. Uh-huh. Oh, sure. Hi. I guess Genko gave you his phone. Well, as long as you understand how serious this is, it's fine. If you're not coming back tonight, I'll make sure to fill out the paperwork. Just don't leave me in the dark, okay? And make sure you tell Kengo too. Good luck with the rest of the event. Hey, looks like we're in the clear. But Kengo, please don't ignore Shiro. Oh? That was some sick coordination, you two. Oh, that was pretty smooth. You threw him so far off his game that he had no choice but to submit. What a fascinating display! I've been with you for but a short time, yet I think I'm starting to see your method. I'm not sure it did hit the spot. We still have a little bit of time to... You want to run around a little, or head back early? Yo! Where did McCreek go? Did his mood suddenly turn low? Okay, yelp. McCreek? He went outside. Said he wanted to feel the wind in his hair or something. Say what? He left without me? We had plans to do some breakdancing together. Forget about dancing. Help me bust our trays, will you? Honestly, why's that badass gotta be the one showing good manners? He stepped out, didn't he? I'm going to pop out quickly too then. Go get him, partner. We'll be here. Give him a little kick in the butt for me too, okay? If he can't get his act together, I'll take him down way too easy. See you in a little bit, Kengo. That idiot. Getting himself all worked up. Meanwhile, I'm still not worked up enough. I can't let this slip away from me. It's been a while since the last time we fought for real. Kengo looks down wistfully at the chocolate he's been concealing in his hands for the last little while. Oh! What a voice suddenly calls out from behind him. How does Ichi sound? Probably high voice too. Hey, Kengo! You're one cool count out there last round. C-Tree. Youth! I did read out every single use, by the way. This is very important for the full effect. At the above-ground entrance to the Ikebukuro Colosseum. Specifically, at the entrance door where garments are normally stationed, in the plaza by the artist's hall. The wise men's cameras aren't pointed at the guard contingent on duty today, but rather squarely as the long lone finger of McCroy as he trains. McCroy doesn't even notice, nor would he be likely to care even if he had. He's merely focused on some imaginary foe in front of him as he repeatedly swings his dual blades. Ara's youth. Yes, it is being sucked out directly from the source. I found you, McCroy. Ready to suck my youth? What are you doing out here of all places? Me missing the button. Nice to see you. Have you come back to escort me back, Arthur? You're looking for an escort? I apologize. I fear I've dampened your spirits. There's something I have yet to figure out. With the final stages now upon us, I must not fail to meet the challenge of it promised to our dear Kingo. I have witnessed the youthful spirits of Kuma, Seth, and the others, yet my own sacred artifact has still to answer my call. I've come this far without it, but why can I not seem to grasp its power is unclear to me. Okay, so they were talking about him. And somehow he reminds Duo of Bertro. What's this? This isn't the McCroy I know at all. Here, I thought you were the rising star of Tokyo's kendo scene. Hey, what are you two doing here? Would you believe me if I told you that I'm a correct senior in kendo, and I've come to break the chains holding me back? No, I don't think I would believe you. I see you're a hard one to convince, but that comes as a little surprise. Anyway, McCroik, what's become of you? Things don't look too bright for you if you keep on like this. What do you mean by that, Shuichi? Here, take up the bamboo, McCroik. As your senior, it seems it's fallen upon me to properly put you through your paces. Shuichi? This is a bit out of character for you. Actually, not really. I have a special knack for poking these under my tutelage in their most tender spots. McCroik is no exception. Shuichi's half-truths. I don't think he actually, like, outright lies. In fact, I'm pretty sure he can't lie. They made a big deal about it in the main quest. But yeah, he does indeed can only... He deceives by only revealing part of the truth, I guess. When it's convenient. Although, you know, I guess... What's it called? That's kind of like every 3 of the True Guild's method of doing things. So, kind of a neat parallel there. Hooking, tutelage. Oh, Shuichi, you cad. Say what anyone will. I have every confidence in my ability to help those who've lost their way. Ah, Shuichi, if you're going to do some training, why don't you take part as well? Shuichi, and what are you talking to boot? After only the slightest hesitation, McCroik readies his bamboo sword with stalwart determination. If I am to identify and excise this torment that holds me back, I must focus all my might and blaze forward to be a burning, youthful victory! And that's the spirit, McCroik. Care for some backup? It is a big favor to ask, but may I have your aid in this fight, Aerthin? You're a trained sword fighter after all, the same as us. It would be a fair match with your assistance. Actually, I'm not technically trained. Alright, let's do this. For Shinjuku Academy, bring it on! I will meet you in battle, for I am Shuichi Togo, 3rd year in the Toto Academy Kendo Club. And I as well, Moritaka Shino Inizuka, 2nd year in the Shinjuku Academy Kendo Club. Let us face off! I am McCroik, 2nd year in Ikebukuro Academy Kendo Club. May the finest blade claim victory. On guard! Oh, that was surprising. There's no post battles event. I guess it's just going directly to part 2. So yeah, episode 4, part 2. Like, yeah, I'm just there. What? Pardon me, but I think I have lost the train of thought there. Or do you mean like during that battle sequence? Because it's like everyone's saying their own name. Okay. So I guess I should be something like... Bring him on! Aerthin Azern, by the way, that's the last name in battle in this game it shows. Ready to take up arms and meet your challenge. One day they'll decide to use my last name in this game. But I doubt it will be this event. Why is it even a field if they never use it? Jesus Christ. Nicknames are also not utilized, but most transients call the MC by a different name anyways. There is one case where the... Oh, here we are. In a fair fight, there is always a winner, and there is always a loser. The music you just heard a moment ago is from Danganronpa V3, yeah. So what's the right move? In any proper fight, it should be whatever move places one firmly in the winner category, or at least the move that is believed most likely to do so. Hey, it's Azazoth. Corporate Kerr and Alkan Tenka. Me and my English A's popping out for some reason. Perhaps the simplest example of this would be the majority rule match, in which the side with the largest number of constituents is the one best supported to assure victory. Even should the majority's tenets stand firmly in opposition to one's own principles, if winning is the end goal, those principles must be cast aside without a second thought. No, it was not from Housamo. That's not always an easy thing to do, but it helps if one is to reduce all the majority's tenets down to a single representative set of doctrines. But yeah, they did end up using nicknames, I believe, during FKD. That's they decided to use our nickname when we were playing as the other hero there. Should one instead choose to just stand by and watch without supporting any particular system, survival may be possible, but any such person is wholly subject to the whims of the victors. It's duo Lisa and Bercho. And hidden in the background as a black solid summer is gonna be the others. So there's duo, there's Bercho, but there's also Kuren and what's called... I know there are Charles and Bercho and the other guy. Yeah, I already said all the names, I'm sure. In short, the world favors those who adopt the winning system. As is often said, history is written by the victors. It's a cat in box. Hey, there's Kern. Yeah. Oh yeah, Isaac. That's the last one. Therefore, those who have been forecast as sure winners in the battles to come are generally the ones given the role of recording history. And that history stands tall, fortifying society as we know it, not unlike a mighty pillar. Alluding to the role of pillars from sacred artifacts being pillars, retaining memories over loops. Those who record history exist in every world, too, even in Tir Nog, the land of eternal youth. I completely forgot he was a world type. In Tir Nog, there's a legend that speaks of a single blade with a dual nature, light and shadow in one, equal parts blessing and curse to those who wield it. It is a sacred artifact that long stood stuck in the earth, perhaps piercing it of its own accord, and was said only the long-awaited Chosen could free it. It cannot be refuted that Fergus MacRoy, who managed to free this artifact, is one in a long line of the Chosen. Let us now speak of the legend of Fergus MacRoy. He was born the King of Ulster. Though he was respected, supported, and loved by the entire royal family, he was duped by the woman he fancied into handing the crown over to her son. This cost him the favor of his people, leading him to flee his former domain and seek asylum within an enemy kingdom. After some time, he received news of the boy king's death. As the members of his former court were scrambling to find a successor to the throne, Queen Meb, monarch of the kingdom the defector now called home, swept in with a fierce raid. Many heroic warriors from both sides of the battlefield met their end that day, yet despite his involvement in it all, Fergus MacRoy never once faltered. Heroes, each fighting for their own personal reasons, fell by the dozens, but MacRoy seemed to be fighting for the will of the world itself, and he alone persevered. It all seemed so strange to him. These stalwart warriors had led lives preparing them for this very moment, yet in mere seconds, those lives were cut short. Even his own friends, such as the legendary Balor and the hero Satanta, the Senator Luke, who always shone with the energy of 1,000 suns, had met their untimely ends. Recroic had exchanged an oath with Satanta to take turns letting the others win on the battlefield. But during that time, he'd chosen survival over victory. And with that choice, the opportunity to make good on that oath had passed. Recroic alone had survived, caught in a bloody war brought about by his inability to choose between love and friendship. Yet he'd never forgotten the youth of that valiant hero. Oh no, it's the murderous sound stab. The limitations of choices of being a pillar rep of a world. We've seen the limitations, at least from the genociders, and I think Michaels may have also mentioned, and at the very least, for the genociders, Searcher was only able to carry like the memories of sadness or something like that, and Azathoth was only able to carry memories of death. So even though they are world pillars, it seemed like they could only carry one memory, one kind of memory. And I'm not sure if that's true across all pillars or if they're just exceptions because, I mean, they were called broken in a way, so maybe it was related to their pillars not being able to retain everything. But yeah, my point being, I'm not sure if a pillar lets you actually remember everything in full detail or just specific memories as a general rule, or if it was just specific to them. The day those countless heroes left this mortal coil, he condemned his sword, or rather, the light of the sword's rule, to the depths of the lake, where it could never fail get another. I think they were mentioning, yeah, I don't know. They die, like everyone kind of dies before they're summoned to Tokyo. Like, I guess they don't actually die in the sense that their consciousness exists somewhere else, but like, you know. if you like stab them and he disappeared, that's like as good as dead, at least in that world, right? I don't know. It's they're never clear or not in it because they just keep these. They explain them as backstories and not really as present happenings. Like, and when Chino died in this loop, I'm not exactly sure if he would, you know, return back to his world or if he's still dead there. It's kind of ambiguous. Yeah. Broken pillars, one type of memory complete. Pillar, all memories, but you can share them. I mean, that's kind of the impression I got, but I don't really see what makes a pillar broken per se. Like, who damaged them in the first place, or what damaged them, or were they really just calling them broken pillars because of the nature of their world, rather than the nature of their sacred artifact? I can't really say because, you know, there's a lot that's said, and some of them is only mentioned not with full clarity or detail. Maybe we'll see with Chino again. Most likely not, but I hope. Might be disrespectful to his memory at this point, since they pretty said out loud that he was satisfied and he wouldn't come back. I see now. You have excellent precision in your movements, though the force behind your swings is definitely lacking. You put up a good fight, Shuichi, but can you withstand this? Physical ability alone cannot prevail against the might of transients. That's why my tactics are born on careful analysis. Besides which, I'm the upperclassman here, so don't think you can take me down quite so easily. Ah yes, that. Right there. Each time your swing is poised to land for a sure victory, you hesitate. And leave yourself open. Ah! Forearm strike. That's match set. Weenie. Did Shuichi just beat us? No way! Oh, well, that was well played. Good job, Shuichi. My sword doesn't lose, you see. Though I haven't yet had many chances to test that on anyone of particularly high standing. The only thing that can break him is Duo leaving for the other side, and only his mind. The artifact or the transient is damaged to a broken pillar. I mean, that's what it seems to be implied, but it'd be nice if they could elaborate on it more. Like, you know, show us more broken pillars and compare directly to... Oh no, I skipped the thing. Huh? What do you mean? Aping for someone else? My thumb was like relaxing and it clicked the thing by accident. Still, it doesn't take difficulty to find someone's... Still, it takes a little difficulty to find an opponent's weakness when they're simply aping someone else. Okay, my bad. Yes, McCroy, you did hesitate in your swings, but there was more to it than just that. But I'd like a direct comparison just to see it. And, they might, because it's not the first time they have revisited topics. You weren't trying to throw the match or anything. Rather, you were hesitating. For the very sake of hesitating. Ooh, called out. You're not seeking victory, but as you've paraphrased so many times, the essence of youth. Someone in particular, no doubt. Ugh. Oh wow, he had some fully read. Downloaded. So if I'm going to help you whip you into shape, I'll need to snap you out of that mindset first. And so, the poking continues. Let's keep this momentum going! Ha! So cool! Yeah. 1-1. Moritaka, your attacks are so quick and fierce, just as I predicted they would be. We may be smashed in size, but my fighting spirit can easily keep pace with yours. Come now, give me your best effort. Alright, looks like it's my turn now. Come on, bring it. Alright. Alright, now is when the real fight starts. Come, Marathon. Anytime. Yes, that's the spirit. Let me show you how it's done. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I neglected to mention this earlier, but it's because loading was not long. But this will probably be the longest stream by a good margin of the three. Alright, that seems to be quite enough for now. You both have actual app battles to fight shortly after all. That was some pretty good practice. I am pretty exhausted though. That's what this was all about in the first place. I hope I'm not clipping too much. Huh? Wait, you mean... You did say something to that effect, but I didn't realize. McCroik, here, please take this hydrating sports drink. You have my thanks, Moritaka. This is just what the body needs after such rigorous exertion. Refreshing. Youth! So, McCroik, just how does it feel to come out on the losing side? Yeah! McCroik lets out a bellowing roar as he throws himself down to the ground on his back. The once burnt out star inside of him is now blazing brilliantly. Just a moment. I was ready to collapse with exhaustion. Yet now, I'm filled with such youthful energy. Although I've lost, I am surrounded by friends. What is this? What words can I use to describe such a feeling? That's it. Even in the face of defeat, there yet lies the essence of youth when one fights alongside one's friends. His personality is just youth. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's like the ideal of youth. But yeah, I get what you mean. There is some youthful energy in knowing how to accept defeat too. I do think they mentioned how she does his fake laugh before too. Shuichi, you've got a pretty scary look in your eyes. Thank you for the nutrition, Marathon. Now let me get off my knees. By the way, Rick, there is something I've been meaning to ask you. What is it, Moritaka? Have you fallen madly in love with, and wish for some expert advice on what to do about it? What? No, certainly not. To begin, my heart already resides in Anato's court. Don't get distracted. He's letting you off topic, Moritaka. This is a battle of words now. Fight back. Let me guess. You're interested in why I wield dual blades, perhaps? The way you maneuver in battle and your striking technique are so balanced. Are you not always a dual wielder? I ask because your form is clearly that of a single blade sword fighter, It bears resemblance to the local Ito Ryu technique. This observation, though accurate, is so precise and minute that only a true master of the sword with considerable experience and knowledge could ever have picked up on it. Well spotted. You are correct that I am trained to use but a single blade. But after coming here, I suddenly found myself with two. And you know what they say, when in Tokyo. Wait. Are you saying that's the only reason? Yeah, two, so why not use them both? Indeed. In the beginning, it was quite an awkward experience, but taking both swords in his hands, something came over me. I started practicing with them, and I just liked it. I was untrained, so victory was less assured, but it just felt right. Wouldn't have been a better question to ask why you had two swords all of a sudden? Weren't you curious? Certainly not! Well, there you go, I guess. I've had enough of this shit. I'm going out. There's something much more important than whether one wins or loses, and that's fighting and staying true to oneself. I don't buy that for 1 second. Those are just empty platitudes. You're just toying with us, McCroy, aren't you? Pardon? I can't imagine anyone on the losing side of a battle saying something so selflessly grandiose as that. After all, losing a fight is losing one's sense of self. It's a denial of one's core principles. It's no laughing matter. Simply put, you see us as opponents whom you can easily defeat should you actually try. The real outcome is irrelevant to you. In a way, those dual blades are rather representative of you. Always at hand, win or lose. Uncaring, uninterested, unfazed. Just tools to get the job done, with no concern for the quality of the work. They symbolize nothing but disinterest, lack of necessity, and unleashing your full power. Is that not an insult to your opponent? Hold on a second, Shuichi. Oh, I suppose that did get a little out of hand. Ugh. Battle zone closed. All people and objects in the arena area have been reset to their original states. Well now, you all have matches to fight in the last stage, no? Okay, so there's only 3. You'd best get going, gladiators. Shuichi, please permit me to ask one question before we depart. Sure, what is it? Why did you decide to put me through this training round? Oh, that's an easy one. I wanted to see you at your best. And that's coming from someone who normally have no interest in anything which doesn't concern his beloved little brother. Yeah, these two seem to have a weirdly keen interest on McCroy for some reason. Shuichi. So, just being a good mentor. That doesn't add up. I disbelieve you're hiding. I like that. I disbelieve you're not doing something, Shuichi. We'll be watching you two. Best of luck out there. As you again head back, McCroy spins on his heels to face the opponent who just bested him not only in the field battle, but in the spoken word as well. Shuichi! Or shall I call you Master Shuichi Choco? Sensei, perhaps? He totally got schooled. Thank you for all your guidance and encouragement. You're very much in your debt! McCroy gives a courteous bow. His posture and movement suggest that no part of his display of gratitude is sarcastic, nor even just a matter of good manners. He means every word. Sometimes I run my mouth a bit, but I never tell a lie. Good luck on your next match. I'm very much looking forward to it. And since I'm usually only ever concerned with my little brother, you should be able to glean just how sincere I'm being. Like, I do wonder why Shuichi goes. Duo said he resembles Bercho, but maybe Shuichi knows Bercho too in that way? I don't know. We want to see you fight with your whole spirit. No more hesitation, and no more toying around. You got that? I'll think about it. Alright, we are now going to be continuing episode 4, part 3. So that's why this part of the stream will last a bit longer than the previous two, because it has 3 parts for episode 4 and 2 parts for episode 5, but also the epilogue. So, 6 parts in total. Actually, never mind. This is from Danganronpa, but it's not from B3. It's from Super Danganronpa 2. If you're interested in finding it, it is the investigation theme. You can get a look of the title. Okay, never mind. I'll just tell you what it is. It's Colosseum. Not exactly something easy to spell. At long last, you and McCroy head back to join the others in the changing room. Oh, you're back, and McCroy is with you too. Kengo is standing by himself, seemingly waiting for something. Or someone, in front of the Colosseum entrance. Why by yourself, Kengo? Did you miss me? Being by myself is nothing new. Before I met you, I was always by myself. That's just how I am now. Alright. We should be going up against each other pretty soon, I think. Been a long time, huh? Hope you're ready to lose. Let me ask you a question, Kengo. Is it really of such importance that you win a fight against Aerithon? What should matter most is that you fight with all your might, regardless if you win or lose. Is that not so? Huh? What nonsense are you on about this time? You're supposed to fight to win. That's just what I plan to do. Intriguing. Thank you for indulging me. Anyway, you better not hold back on me, you got that? Give me everything you got, or there's gonna be hell to pay. I got it. You better have. Before they enter the arena to compete under the gaze of the event's spectators, the winners of the second stage all gather in the locker room, having some steamy fun with each other. Alright, partner. If we're doing this, let's give it everything we've got. Hey, sleek outfit, Kengo. How do you get changed so fast? And what happened to Colosseum outfits? My apologies. Due to the ferocity of today's fights thus far, much of the armor we prepared has been damaged beyond usability. While it's being repaired, I'm happy to offer alternative outfits from our sponsor to those in need of a change of clothes. They're of a rather exceptional quality, with excellent airflow and optimum flexibility. Are they to your liking? Oh wow, nice elasticity. I've always been a little self-conscious about my legs. Oh, but these are really things. Oh no. Oh no, Kiba is aware he's drawn by Kaume. If only I was drawn by another artist. But, you know, at least those ARs do me justice. I'm glad they meet with your approval. Now, if you would be so kind as to complete the survey. Yeah, more skins are nice to have always. Additionally, there is a booth within the menu where you can purchase more, so please tell your friends in the audience. How about you give us fewer sales pitches and more info about the next round? Feisty, we like it. Listen and listen well, our victorious gladiators, for we will now tell you everything you need to know. Alright, let's have at it. A Valentine's tag team match? Correct. You just repeated exactly what I said 1 second ago. You and the chosen partner will fight together in the next stage. Is that not the very spirit of Valentines? You've all truly excelled thus far. Certainly, there must be someone with whom you've exhibited good chemistry. Well, how do we pick our partners for this? Everybody gets along with everyone else here. We just draw lots. Have you forgotten what day it is? You don't really think we'd have you choose your partner at random, do you? So, that means... Kima nervously takes the chocolate he prepared for today's event and a wave of similar uncertain fidgeting instantly overcomes the other participants as well. You needn't fear. Save the chocolates you prepared for your special summon. They are to hand over when the time is right. The only condition for your partner's selection going into the final stage is that the decision be mutual. Alright, so it's not based on a chocolate then. And with that said, I'll be taking registrations. When you have successfully formed the pair, please come see me. Oh, dang it. I wasn't expecting anything like this. Why does this kind of stuff always gotta happen to me? Should I partner up with someone else? No, I can't. No way! But like... In any other circumstance, Kingo would take swift action. But for him, this, more than any other foe he could possibly face in the ring, is the weak point that threatens to take him down. Oh. And thanks to his hesitation.
But please, would you be my teammate, Adlin?
Oh yes, 2-star angel, of course I will.
I'd just love to fight side by side with you. Please, team up with me.
Oh yeah, I'd love to team up with you, 1-star mate.
I have chocolates for you, too. Won't you take them?
Yeah, sure thing, 1-star blue pirate. That looks like Tifon. Just irresistible, it seems. In no time at all, you find yourself surrounded by a sea of participants, all clamoring to be your partner.
Hey, Arison?
Aww. Kenko finally makes his move, but it's a bit too late. He struggles in vain to push through the ever-growing crowd. Aww. Meanwhile, on your side, the crowd is actually held back by a certain transient who has come to stand between you and the restless rabble. Is it McCrick? Some have mobs as their wife slash husbando. Yeah, I've definitely seen pirate fan art, especially of Wood Pirate for some reason, and I've seen some fan art of the mobsters. Some people have actually seeded some mobs, like the Lucky Cat, although I don't know the reason for that. I guess the cat is fine too. But there's also, I've seen fucking... what is it? I've seen Blue Mage fully seeded at one point before, you know, it became updated. And I've also seen... I feel like I've seen a lot more. I think I've seen someone seed Trickster for some reason. And there's so much more. Oh, I can't remember them, but suffice to say, there's a shitload of people that have been seeded. And I'm always just like, bruh, why? Please do not. It's not a good deal. Like, I know you want to show your affection for them, but if you're not even gonna use them in battles, then it's not worth it.
McCroik! I guess that makes sense. Of course he'd get it here first.
Did I read this?
Look at them all, each pursuing youth with such vigor. But you and I have already made a pact, Arthur.
I didn't agree to this. I want to be with Kingo! The participants vying for your partnership immediately began to disperse, having seen that the two of you fighting together since the first stage and realizing there's simply no match.
I'm certain that you must approve, Arthur, no?
No, indeed. Yeah, I kind of want to partner with Kingo.
McCroik! What do you think you're doing? I already called him my partner. I'm the obvious choice here. Have I done something wrong? There's no rule that says that one cannot fight for an ally for the right to partnership. However, it would behoove us all for two with such strong bound to be partners in this final round. So, come, Kengo! Take the hand of your partner, that is, if you don't wish to lose him to me. Kengo! Before hearing your thoughts on winning, Kengo, I received a rigorous training and unapologetic criticism from Shuichi. There is still much left unanswered, but I am convinced that there is something I can yet learn by observing the two of you fighting as a single unit. And I must determine the source of that which has been plaguing me. Therefore, I wish for the two of you to fight together as partners. Huh. Well, thanks, McCroik. I guess I owe you one, but that doesn't mean I'll go easy on you. Next battle, we'll fight for real. You and Kingo give each other a kiss on each other's lips and head off, but your backs are turned to him for only a split second when he's lifting his fists into the air and calls after you with determination. Yes! I promise, Kingo! The next we face off, I will rid myself of these doubts that hold me back!
This was not to be an empty promise either, for McCroik's role of the prophet affords him foreknowledge that by the end of the round, he will finally remember something of himself. And it will be a passionate battle between you and Kengo that will jostle these members loose within him. Now, after all that bravado and bluster, I'm left with no partner of my own to fight with. Is it Seth? Or is it Kima? But clumsy, are we? If you keep on like that, you're really gonna be in for it one of these days. But then I'm sure want to talk. Wait, what? No, aren't I? There you go. Shuten and Kuma. I can't tell if Shuten is actually participating or not. McCroik, would you do me a favor? Ikebukuro Colosseum, premium seating section. Looks like the audience has gotten bigger still. This energy is wild, but the sheer scope of this crowd. Yeah! Sorry, did I bump shoulders with you? Oh, no worries. Wait. Hey! Huh? Oh. What are you guys all doing here? And you're sitting right next to me. Yo, Sethy! We got these special seats from Snow. Since it's Valentines, we can meet together for the show. Ho, ho! What? Also, don't say that. It's not Christmas. I should have seen this coming. Ah, curse you, Snow. Well, calm down, Seth. It's not so bad. Here, I've got enough orange juice cans for everyone. If you'd like one. Ah, sure. Fine, why not? I'll take one. Thanks. Who's that guy, by the way? You know him?
Oh, me? I'm Citri. Hold on. Wait a sec. Aren't you? Rank 1? What are you doing here?
Rank 1? Like the best? Because I am the best. But I have no idea what you're talking about specifically. Nice save.
Oh, no. They do look a lot alike though, at first glance. But take a closer look, honey.
Oh, Malcon. Malcon does not look like Citri.
Oh, phew. I was pretty startled there for a sec. Sorry about that, Sethy. Looks like this one's just got a little confused. I'm his guardian for the day. He wanted to so much to come see the event. Get off of me, Basim! You always do this. I don't ask you to come because no one else was available, okay? Also, my mom and sister both really trust you for some reason. But I sure can't wait till I'm all grown up. Enjoy your use while you got it. No need to rush. Besides, you should be thanking me for giving us such wonderful seats. So just stop hugging me, though. I hate how you're so clingy and stuff all the time. Like in that one area where you take pictures of me. Oh, we don't talk about that. Basim, can't you see the kid wants some space? Come over here, Citri. Switch seats with me.
Oh, right. No. Bale is no relation to Berserkers, but I would say that would be more an obvious mistake. But yeah, it was confirmed in Chapter 3 that Malcon was rank 1. We didn't learn a bunch of the other ranks, so I believe we never learned who rank 2 was. But Malcon was definitely rank 1.
Oh, Citri, you're gonna leave me just like that? Well, fine, be that way. At least you're in good hands with old Sethy.
It's Seth, Basim. Seth. No E, no I, just Seth. S-E-T-H. Got it? Anyway, Citri, it's very nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. You're the coolest cat ever. I am?
Do you mean it? Not a cat, but okay.
Yeah, you're so much cooler than that suck-up Basim. You're like the total opposite.
Well, that's very kind of you to say, but I'm curious. Who is this rank 1 you mentioned before? I want to know who I look like.
Oh, well. Let's see. Oh boy, here we go. Have you ever heard of the 72 Pillars of Solomon?
72 pillars?
The heck? That sounds like a big old building to me.
Randomly learning about Malcon North for some reason. Sounds like you guys are having quite the conversation. Scoot over and make some room for me, will you?
No humans allowed. What shooting? The bell station's down there, yo.
My work down there is all done. Now it's time for you to join the party up in the stand. Join the party up in the stands and watch a showdown in peace and comfort. I guess he just withdrew from the battle.
What do you consider being my partner? Shooting? What's all this about?
It's time Kuma experienced something new. Although, he just might show you a thing or two about that youth you're so fixated on. Yeah, unlike there's a nice comparison there. Although I don't know if what's it called, McCroy is actually like that in his mythology. McCroy seems to be obsessed by the ideal of youth, but Kuma actually seems to be in the middle of it with his own anxieties about being a first year and not keeping up with his upperclassmen. Go get him, Kuma. I'll be rooting for you.
Right, I won't let you down.
Figured I'd just stand and watch the final round, but Claude was sad to see me go, so he may try at least have a good seat. He put on a good old front down there. We'll see soon enough if he lives up to the strength he projects.
The time has come, Valentine's gladiators. Prepare yourselves for the final stage. The first round was a test of your dexterity, while the second was a true measure of your strength in a ring, even though that happened in the blink of an eye. And in between, your resolve was tested in the form of a special bonus stage. But now, one final event specifically tailored for you gladiators to show us all your very best Valentine spirit. With a title to match the caliber of today's great battle of the Valentines, we present you the Valentines Tag Team Brawl. We can think of no more thrilling conclusion than for each of you to rely upon a teammate and fight together for the win. It's been a while since we've been back at this old ring. Sure takes me back. Remember when I didn't have any character development yet at the time, Marathon? Pretty nostalgic, hey? Huh, partner? Sure is. That was right after we first met. Almost feels like I haven't changed one bit since then. It always comes down to this, you know. The look on Kengo's face and the slight shiver running down his spine belie the statement, however. Kengo is aware as anyone as just how much he really has changed since then. Oh, Kengo! And my favorite summer. There are still things he has yet to figure out about himself, but one particular change with him has been unwavering since that day, and it weighs heaviest on his mind now. So without further ado, let the Valentine's Tag Team Brawl begin! Okay, first things first, let's clean up the riffraff and get the stage under our thumb. Once that's taken care of, it'll just be me and you, and we can finally have that rematch we've been aching for. That is a long link for applause. I never had any brains. I never had any true friends either. And as a result of both of these things, I sure as heck have never had anyone to watch my back. I'm just a blockhead whose solution to everything is to punch it into submission. Everybody knows that.
People call me a thug, a goon, a bully, a brute, those sorts of things. Might as well print out my name tag on some business card so I can introduce myself to people that way. Thing is, though, duking it out with these fists of mine has always been enough for me. It's the only way I really know how to express myself. For a long time now, it's like no matter how many people I meet, I still feel like I'm completely alone. It me! Or at least, that's how it had been for me. Until I met you. My whole world changed after I met you. Because of you, I can now see all the things I never could before. And that's why you're so special to me. But I just don't know how to say that out loud. I don't even know how to begin telling you. I think, and think, and think. And this whole brain of mine is no help. No matter how hard I try, I just can't bring myself to be a thinker. I'm a doer through and through. These fists are still my greatest asset. They're the best thing I got going for me. I just hope that they're good enough for you too. If anyone can catch my fists before they land a knockout blow, I really want it to be you. He says that even though he knows I'm a sword user. That's not block his fists with my sword. At least not the blade of it. Battle of the Valentines, final stage. The Valentines Tag Team Brawl. Yeah! Kengo lets out a roar that reverberates through the entire Colosseum. Unsurprisingly, you and Kengo make a formidable pair, absolutely dominating the scoreboard as you rip through the opponents after opponent in record time. Finally, you and he are the only contenders left. You both stand tall as mountains before your highly anticipated one-on-one rematch. It's time, Marathon. Show me what you got. Alright. Bring it on, Kengo. Let's do this. You both fight with an infectious fury that emanates from the battle stage like a shockwave, engulfing the other participants and the audience alike in a torrent of chaotic enthusiasm. Whoa! Check it out! Kengo, you rock! This is the coolest battle ever! He's quite the showstopper, though I'm surprised he'd even participate in this colorful event. It's a bit unlike him. I know he likes chocolate, but love and romance are, shall we say, not his specialties. You don't know anything about Kengo. Don't you underestimate him. Just you watch. He's got friends watching him. The power of friendship and honesty is on his side. He's sure to put up a good fight, and I don't really think it's fair between fists versus swords, to be honest, but it doesn't seem like you're going down anytime soon, partner. Aibo! I'm not going down at all. I haven't even begun to fight. I think I'm actually happy now. This reminds me of the very first times we exchanged blows. I don't know where in these worlds we came from. You don't either, I guess. But even though you knew nothing about me at all when we first met, you accepted these fists from the very start. I had been roaming all over Tokyo, battling it out in all kinds of different places before moving on to someplace new. I really was a transient myself. That's a sad way of putting it. Being transiently not in a single place. But all those things Citri and Claude said, they've been running through my head this whole time. I can't shake them. What did Claude say? Kengo was featured in the Valentine's event, so I know what he's talking about with Citri, but I don't remember him and Claude being in the same event together. I mean, the only event Claude's been was a thing. What's it called? Christmas, and Kengo wasn't featured there. Maybe he was talking about what he said in this event. How do I really feel for you? What do I want to be your rival, or do I want to be your shield? My whole life, I've been driven by the desire to compete against stronger and stronger opponents. But now it feels like this longing to look after you has kinda overridden that. I've been going over all this in my head for so long now.
but I just don't have a clear answer. That's why I had to fight with you one more time. I just had to know. And I do know. After crossing fists with you, the answers kinda jumped out at me. It's so plain to see that it's a wonder I ever questioned it. There's a side of me that wants nothing more than to fight you, and a side of me that wants nothing more than to protect you. Those sides are always switching back and forth, and right now, you're seeing the side that wants to fight. People might say that I'm all mixed up, and my feelings don't make sense. But they don't know what they're talking about, do they, Arthur? Meeting you was one of the best things to ever happen to me, and that's why I'm giving you this my all. You're going down, Aibo. A sound not unlike thunder rattles the stand each time Kengo lands a blow. Yet each strike is accompanied by an innocent smile. Kengo truly has found his happiness. Kengo Takabushi, Arthur. Did he lose? I can't even remember. I thought it was just us two. What? McCroik, your swords. They're glowing up. They are. Is it happening? Or are we like fighting in different rings? As the ferocious battle continue on stage, those who've met their match are forced to withdraw but one by one. Okay, it's not just us two left. Yet the fight between you and Kengo carries on unabated. I thought it was gonna be like a tag team. I don't understand this. Why are we suddenly fighting midway through? I don't understand the rules, whatever. There are no signs to be seen that either of you will back down or fall flat anytime soon. Ah! He's swinging a sword in a downward arc, and Kengo effortlessly parries, countering with a lightning-quick volley of punches. Holy shit. Kengo's kind of OP if he's punching my swords. Your mutual determination and skill ignite the arena, showcasing a rare prowess possessed only by the most stalwart of warriors. Kengo! Incredible! What a badass display! My feet won't stop shaking, and this time, to the beat, but to the beat down! Calm down, Alp, you're not being the outside anymore. I always thought Valentines was just the stupid holiday all about buying chocolates and talk about emotions and stuff. Like, why wait for some holiday party or something to see if someone likes you or not? It makes no sense. Yeah, I feel like the sermon was a little over the place towards the end, but I still like it. It was so high. Spoilers! I'm not there yet. But yeah. Also, welcome back, Ray Dos Santos. I don't know why I keep on saying it funny. Oh, welcome back, Ray. But this is different. Kengo's really got something to say. I totally get it now. I mean, I really enjoyed the beginning for sure. But the rules, I thought it was a tag team, and then suddenly they were fighting each other. That was a bit unclear to me. Ah, he's such a cool cat. I never knew what a real warrior looked like until I saw this fight. There's no hesitation. That is his true power. Nothing left unsaid. He's putting it all out there. Go, Kengo! You're the best! Go, go, go! Honestly, he never looks at me with that kind of wonder in his eyes. It's just not fair. This is everything I hoped it would be. Nothing better than throwing down with you, Harrison. How are you feeling, huh? Am I living up to your expectations, too? Of course you are, partner. I love you, Kengo. Kengo's smile widens and his face turns beet red as he charges forward. Wait, is this nothing? Sorry, I was talking about the rules for the fight as well. That was all over the place. Yeah, this is not the end. Don't spoil for me. That's it, right there. That's the very thing about Yarthen. The very thing. Kengo crushes your balance, and with all his might, he closes it in and shouts. I just love that. I just love about you. Oops, I totally flubbed that. Aw, Kengo! Kengo! Kengo's proclamation reverberates throughout the Colosseum. The crowd cheers with uncontrollable excitement. Let's show them, partner. Show them our true power. Oh man, you look so hot here. I wish I could switch to that mouse clip action. Zayart Basher! A blinding light flashes through the entire space, catching the eye of McCroik on the other side of the venue. Yes, I remember it now. I've seen the same light before. It's the light of my past, those memories that have lain dormant within me this whole time.
As you and Kengo continue your fierce battle, recollections the man Makorik once was begin flooding in his head, as if a dam has burst.
Ow! Your swords are glowing, Makorik! I knew it! They must be the pillars that support Epilogue!
Makorik's rule lies within his shadow swords. At this moment, they sparkle with a light that every bit as brilliant as a star atop a mountain. English, please.
Though heroes continue to rise and fall, thy root shall hold from till the time of the world's end. Youthful stampede!
As the light from the battle between you and Kengo grows in intensity, the light from Makorik's twin blades begin to match its radiance. The white light envelops the Colosseum until nothing can be seen anymore. A radiant curtain so thick that even sound is absorbed in it, virtually muting the roar of the crowd. The steadily despairing sights of you and Kengo sets off a deluge of even more memories rushing through Makorik's head.
I remember now! That beaming youth I see before me! It once coursed through these veins as well. And I now remember too, how it is I came to forget something so dear to me. Yeah.
The spigot is now thoroughly opened. All at once, the events of his past pop into Makorik's mind, almost faster than he can even make sense of them all.
Yes, I too once fought with that very same fervor. I too once had someone I'd risk everything to protect. The name of that hero I now remember well. A hero once known as Satanta, who went on to take the name of Kushalan.
I'm kind of a bit sad I flubbed Kengo's line. But it's K. It's K. Kengo still said it in the end. Okay. We are now beginning episode 5. Let's do this. Part 1. I thought on exception about breakout in the story because of the music, but then, oh, here we are. There once was a wise king whose reign contained within it a certain rule. Is this King Solomon? That rule intersected all the many worlds and granted the rings where the ability to assign rank and hierarchy among demons. Now this guy actually has an extremely important role in the main story. At least it's into that anyways. The king traveled these many worlds, and whenever he met a being of considerable power, he would assign it the ranking of a demon and cast it into the abandoned netherworld of Gehenna. We love lore. Well, when we can keep up with it anyways. Being from many diverse worlds and cultures, all branded and fully recategorized as demons, as if they'd never been anything but. Huge lore dump of King Solomon and Gehenna. And in time, these beings began to believe it themselves, that they had been demons from the very beginning. So what this game is saying is that King Solomon collected these as demons, but they weren't actually demons before, at least not by name. They're from different worlds, apparently. That's interesting. That's a good way to connect it to, our interworld kind of story, too. These demons came to be known as the 72 Pillars of Solomon. Hey, this is what Citra's talking about. Drawing upon the name of the wise king who brought them to their new home. They eventually realized that there should exist within them memories from before they were regarded as demons. I knew that somehow, before being cast... Oh, I guess he did mistake them as Baal. Yeah. Yeah, my mistake. He didn't mistake him for Malkan. I mean, Malkan is ranker number 1, but he mistook him for Baal. But yeah, it seems that this... I doubt this is the, the official mythology. But rather, a way for Tokyo Afterschool Summers to make some original story of how these people, especially under King Solomon, have been connected by different worlds. They knew that somehow, before being cast away into the abyss of Gehenna, they all had different names and different lives than they did now. Which one was the true existence? Which the fake? Which one of them was genuine? And which one illusory? Is there a relation between Seth and Baal? Like, actually? This is the first time they're acknowledging their similarities, but the whole point of this seems to be implying a connection that's deeper. Because Baal is from Gehenna, I presume, as with the other pillars, 72 Pillars of Solomon. But as far as I know, Seth is just strictly related to, Adu. Are they saying that Adu was the originator? With Seth, and then he was abducted by King Solomon and he became Baal, but then both their existences exist? See? Okay, well, if you saw the story, that would be spoiler, but if you didn't see it yet, then that would be some nice predictions. But also, predictions are kind of spoilers too, but but that's just me being very pedantic about it. Honestly, no idea, but they look similar. It's LifeWonders' interpretation of mixing and demonizing mythologies. Their answers varied based on which world they chose to see things from. It was a bit like cutting one object in two right down the middle, or staring into a mirror and seeing something that so closely resembles reality as you know it, but backwards. Wow. So this might actually legitimize... I was so angry about the fact that there were so many Seth clones and all of that between this and Baal, and then there's also Law's Seth clones. But now they're giving a good reason. They might actually just be split from each other, as if Baal was actually a shadow of Seth that was, procured by Solomon. What was formerly a single being, well, this is just my assumption anyways. I'm not entirely sure what they're saying right now. What was formerly a single being would suddenly be split in twain, each of the subdivisions being its own distinct entity. Interesting. So this is the way LifeWonders, as you said, is trying to interpret mixing and demonizing mythologies. And how in real life mythologies also have lots of similarities with each other. In this way they're saying, it's not about who ends up being the originator, it's more about just they end up being their own individual being, which is an interesting take, and also one of the more interesting things you learn if you ever take up mythology, world mythology. And Baal's attributes and his furnace, so it kind of makes sense if you were to be shit, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I think so too. It's kind of surprising that Seth had no recollection of this. And Baal as well, it seems, whenever we seem to see him. Then again, Baal never really had that much screen time yet. Except as Baal. And indeed, as this was all connected to the same role, the wise king himself, who had returned his ring to the ether, was sure to suffer the same fate before departing this world. The wise king himself returned to Easter was sure to suffer before departing this world. So he's saying that King Solomon himself was split. Likewise, this was to hold true for the warrior who had returned his great sword to the lake from whence it came before embarking on a long journey from his home world. At the decisive moment when the world itself was changing, he too was split into a before self and an after self, each distinctly its own being. But which one of these two identities hold a higher rank? At this point, the only place one can find an answer to a question like that is on the battlefield. Oh, maybe Sichi wasn't referring to the rankers when he was talking about rank. Maybe he was talking about just either like the rank within the 72 pillars or the rank between the two split between Seth and Baal. So let me get this straight. And bear in mind, I've never heard of this Solomon 72 whatevers before. Oh my gosh. This is something really important to the story. The main story of this. But you're saying this guy turned 72 transients into familiars, I guess you call them. Then he used some ceremony to assign them rankings and summon them. And I'm the spitting image of the familiar with the highest ranking. Oh, I see. Yeah. So ranking relative to the other pillars. I mean, you've definitely gotten my interest, but I don't know where to even begin trying to understand any of this. This Solomon guy summoned the Shadow Seth, and then the what? The 72 pillars, I guess it is? Whatever that weird system is called, he assigned him as the top rank among his familiars, or... I'm so lost, I think, but... What is Gehenna, anyways? Is Gehenna, like... I'm always confused by what Gehenna is, because is it relative to, like, Herculean mythology, or is it related to, like, biblical mythology? Because you have things like Babylon, which are like, representative of that, and there's supposed to be some connection between Eden, which is obviously related to the Bible, and Gehenna, but, you know... things like Solomon and Baal... Is that also related to that? Gehenna is supposed to represent hell, I guess, like Christian hell, or, you know, at least the monotheistic hell. And if that's the case, I do believe that, at least historically speaking, Christianity has been known to take other people's religious figures and then demonize them, to a sense. Like, you know, I believe there was like some pagan holiday around Christmas time. And so they decided to call them pagan holidays, and they decided to make their own holiday to sort of absorb them and prevent them from being able to celebrate it. And, you know, there's always been those aspects of, like, not making effigies of cows and all that. And that was Christians' way of saying don't worship any god before us. And I don't really understand what exactly the Solomon's story entails. But are they saying that the 72 pillars are just, like... mutations of other people's mythologies to become demonized, you know, so that they're the hell version of, you know, the monotheistic religion. That's my interpretation so far, but this is all based on, you know, me trying to connect the dots, not me actually understanding things by facts. Don't remind me, main story end of chapter 8 and was such an emotional roller coaster. Gehenna is the disposal world for remnants of transients from falling world systems and has a gate to Eden. I mean... Yeah, it does seem to be connected in that way, but it also seems to be related to, like, the Christian hell as well, or the monotheistic hell, because, again, it does have Babylon, and Eden does have Michael, and stuff like that, but I don't know, maybe it's just strong association with them, and because Eden and Gehenna absorb, like, contains at least them as well, if not being equal to you know, the monotheistic heaven and hell, then that would mean that everything within, like, that story would also contain Solomon, which might actually be related to the deformation of various mythologies to become like the Satanized version of the original sources. It's biblical, not exactly a name, but it's a form of an actual name. Okay, so if that's the case, then that's really giving you the sense that I'm on the right track here. Seth was obviously not some sort of, portrayed as some evil thing. I don't know what he was portrayed as, but he was definitely not portrayed as the devil or something. But Baal anyways, certainly was. And Baal and Baal seem to have a connection, and they seem to be byproducts of a, monotheistic distortion of other deities that aren't theirs. I'm not sure what the proper term for it is, because distortion is kind of a very polite way of putting it, what they did. Whatever the weird system is called, he assigned him as top rank among his familiars. Or, I'm lost, I think, but then again, I do think the Book of Solomon, or whatever the original source is fictional. So it might just be taking inspiration from things at the same time of the way, monotheistic religion has demonized other people's deities, and then tried to canonize them in a single kind of piece of literature, fictional or not. Whoa, the heck was that light? Did that come from stage? Is there some kind of pyrotechnic thing going on? Wait, it's coming from over there too. Yeah, it's too bright. But if that were the case, as I was saying, then it would it would make perfect sense that Seth has no idea of the proceedings of them being split, because it's not like it was through the original religions, well, not even religions, just mythologies as well, or belief systems, choice to actually make them into the anti-gods or the demons, the ones to watch out for. That was done obviously by the monotheistic religion, as well as, I guess, writers like whoever wrote the Book of Solomon. Seth and company are completely blinded by the extraordinary light emanating from McCroick's secret artifacts. So yeah, it's essentially Seth has no idea, but Baal might actually. The memories of another world that should have been returned to the lake from whence they came, or to put it another way, the unique, distinct memories culled from Fergus McCroick. The land of eternal youth, known as Tir Nanog, is home to a great diversity of races and tribes, who've built almost as many nations in their world as there are stars in the heavens. A majority of these nations are highly developed and boast rich greenery. They are known for their friendships, their alliances, and at times, for the invasions they lead and endure. Each king has made it his duty to protect his people, and through their strength, resist any foreign threat. One nation of giants, for instance, is said to have eked out a victory in what was believed to be an endless war through the overwhelming power of one particular giant's evil eye, who now is a variant in the current event. Hey, it's Ket. Then there's the land of felines, whose kings used a strong magic power as a deterrent against any such foreign invasion. And not Ket, it's what's the original name? I'm already forgetting what I did. Grimmelkin, that's it. And let's not forget the many human nations who all seem drawn toward gathering their most highly skilled fighters together into mighty militaries. Among these seemingly countless nations, there is one by the name of Connacht, which Fergus McCroick eventually calls his home up till the very end of his previous life. It is there that McCroick let go of his sword, and with it, all his regrets and memories as well. It's a weird transition to there. Battle of the Valentines, White Light of Glory. Final episode, Battle of the Valentines. Things gradually come into focus once more as the blinding lights beaming from the bodies of Kengo and McCroick begin to fade. Wait, did we just have a world collision? What those fading lights reveal, however, is not the Ikebukuro Colosseum where everyone had been stranded just moments prior.
What in the world?
Instead, it's as if everyone is now standing in an endless wasteland. The walls of the Colosseum have disappeared entirely, revealing an expansive plain stretching out in all directions.
What the heck's going on here?
The area where the arena previously stood shows numerous scars of the battle, while the former audience seating area is now flat grassland surrounding it.
Is this
part of the event. Color drains from the faces of every one of the gladiators in the arena, or on the battlefield, as it were, as they each try in vain to make sense of their new surroundings. The audience reaction is much the same, with a general air of bewilderment and concern flowing through the crowd. What the heck is going on here? Is this some kind of black magic? Is it even real, or are we just seeing things?
Yo, there's supposed to be a roof over our heads, not the sun! Where's it going? What's just begun?
Why are we outside? We're just inside a massive Colosseum a moment ago, weren't we?
Can't go!
No, Lisa. I'm glad we left our 2 escorts behind and moved into the arena before all this. This precaution seems to have paid off. Of course, it was your idea, my little brother. This is definitely a collision of worlds, and McCroy surely is its source. But the plan is still on course. Our surveillance has no holes. And the records? Well, there are no records. So I'm going to head off now and try to gather some data. Don't wait up! Okay. This part's all you. Good luck. Alright, time to find out everything I can about this place, since it's very possible we may never be able to leave it. Shuichi shudders at this thought as he steps out to discover just what dangers may await in this collision of worlds. He's not worried for his own safety, but rather that if anything were to happen to him out here, he may never be able to see his dear brother again. Snow, we need you to assess the situation at once, and report whatever you find to our dear gladiators. Snow, what's the matter? There's something approaching, and not just one something, but a great many. As Snow looks out over the flat wasteland, he can see a hazy line approaching from the horizon. It's a mob, and an extraordinarily large one at that. Everyone watches with bated breath as the approaching figures come into clearer view. However, after a certain point, still some distance from the Colosseum site, they simply stop in place. You can now make out some faint details. They seem to be a large army of warriors or soldiers, clad head to toe in thick armor. One member of this contingent holds a large flag up high, its colors and insignia fluttering in the wind, as they brandish it proudly, a war cry erupts from the ranks.
I didn't know that insignia. That's the army of Connacht. They're Ulster's sworn enemy. This isn't good. What's the army of Connacht doing here? Meow.
The Prince K is in Connacht, like a really prominent country in your homeworld.
Yeah, but listen, the army of Connacht is... McCroy is...
McCroy? What about him? Why'd they stop? And why are they here to begin with? You know something, don't you? Shuichi's artifacts, records, information, and duos analyze it, cause such situations for that. Yeah, that's kind of their whole thing about how they cooperate with each other. Shuichi being kind of a failure of an experiment, and Duo being a spare. They're just, I guess they tried to design them to be both, but yeah. Together they work splendidly.
My head feels like it's about to split in two.
Hey,
focus, people! Looks like they're sending out another representative or something.
A man steps out from within the ranks of the Connacht army. He stands tall and stoic, the glint of the sun reflecting off a great sword in his hand. He looks, for all the world, like... Oh my gosh, it's evil McCroy.
What?
Another McCroy?
Well now, isn't this a strange turn of events? Allow me to introduce myself, as I believe this is the first we've met. My name is Fergus. What? I am the commander of the Connacht army, charged with holding the line against the Ulster menace here in Tirnadog. Fergus? Did you say Fergus? Compared with a fool like you, McCraig, who failed both as king and warrior alike, should I not take this name? You certainly weren't doing much with it, wasting your life as you did bowing to others while aimlessly pontificating on the subtle nuances of love and friendship, or some such thing.
You look exactly alike, but he seems older?
I see. Yes, I think I understand.
This is lazier than the reskin of Zab's shadow. I mean, they've done this before, like Hanuman's shadow, or Hakumen's shadow, or it's a thing where they just give them an evil eye and like silhouette them and call it a day.
You are my reflection, the specter of what I, in time, must become. You are my future self, beyond this youth. Or you might say that I am the continuation of the past you once discarded. But we've yet to establish a hierarchy between us. Who the front and who the back? Who the superior and who the inferior? To speak with my own younger, more immature self is a unique opportunity, and I for one do not wish to let it slip away.
I'm pretty sure I would have took this more seriously if they didn't do the exact same thing last Valentine's with a Valentine's time work.
I remember when we were lost in the space between love and friendship, and the days before I bore the burden of not just our country, but the whole world. Are you not also curious, McCraig?
What did you do to come here, Fergus? And moreover, where exactly are we?
Why don't you ask McCraig? He surely knows the answer, for he is the core of this world. These are the wastelands bordering Ulster and Connacht. It's a land fated to one day bridge the two nations.
Dagon was redesigned for his release as a Unite Hope Reveal 2. Dagon was... Yeah, Dagon didn't even have a proper skin, I believe, at the time. Did he? I think he did, actually. They didn't even silhouette him in the end. Like, they did for most of it, but in the end he was shown. I'm not sure if he had that, No, he definitely was, like, essentially Triton, but with gray hair, and was standing in a different diagonal angle. The memories that have returned to McCroy's mind have now been diverted to flow from his tongue like a steady stream.
I fought here countless times with the hero Satanta, and it's here where we made a chaos together. An oath to postpone the conclusion of our battle. Indeed, I too have never forgotten the name Satanta. Though in his prime, he took a different name. That of Cuchulainn. However, one may choose to call him. However, there can be no denying that he was glorious here in this cycle. As for this world, it's a figment of your memories. The fated land, created from the memories you tossed into the lake. A figment of memories I discarded? That's right. You cast them all away. All the things Satanta said, and even your own survival. Your victory. You even cast away your role as prophet. The only things you held on to were your hopes, and the pieces of your sacred artifact. I see. So these twin blades... They contain with them a record of the hero's way of life, and represent one who stands for the will of the people. Whoever bears the sword, or I suppose swords, has the duty to act not upon his own volition, but that of the world. And to that end, I may speak as if I remember everything, but there's one thing I don't yet understand, McCroy. I'm sure there is, Fergus, and I think I have some idea what it may be. Indeed. For the life of me, I can't figure out what you hope to gain by tossing your whole life away as you did. So tell me, McCroy, why in the throes of your youth, before you even knew this a true setback, would you do such a thing? What is your end goal? What do you seek by turning back the hands of time to relive a youth that should be long expired?
Strangely, after a moment of thought, McCroy turns to look at you. You see uncertainty in his quivering eyes, as if he is hopelessly lost in his own emotions. However, he then turns back to Fergus, his composure suddenly gone cold. He lifts his head and gives his answer.
You do speak as if you remember everything, Fergus, but I actually remember it all. So, permit me to explain. You and I have both spent our lifetimes as puppets to the forces of love and friendship. And I believe it is when we made our chaos with Satanta that we came to realize this. Satanta and I were vowed to each grant the other victory in turn, but this was a little more than enough to compromise and cowardice. Each time I saw a valiant warrior die on the battlefield, that realization came to ring ever truer. In the end, it hit me that I deeply regret the decisions I made back then. You mean to say that you regret making the chaos? What is there to regret in such an act? What is there to regret? You already spoke of compromise, of cowardice. What more do you need? I bent my will to comply with others when I should have obeyed no one's but my own, like a true hero. Like a true hero who runs alone, no matter how lost, no matter how injured, always spending my full strength behind everything I do. I had the capacity to live just like that, just like those brave souls I always allow to die in vain around me. I see. Given that answer, then, I'm sure you must understand that such a fate is what awaits all brave souls, no? Of course, dear Fergus. I know it all too well. I know how the story ends for those who follow the path of the hero. The land is just a figment of my memories. I must wonder how cruelly heroes are still treated in the real Epilogue. Those who found themselves without a foe to fill, ironically those who've succeeded in their tasks, no longer serve any purpose in the public eye, so they may as well be just dead. Therefore, if I am to be the true hero, Fergus, I know that I alone am no match for one such as you. As if in response to, Fergus silently raises one arm to the sky. The soldiers standing behind him respond to the sign by readying their weapons. It looks like they're ready to make their moves now. Onward, soldiers! Charge and crush! The ground shakes as the army's battle cries echo across the field. The advance has begun. This is bad. Real bad. We've got to make a stand right here. If we all work together, we can... Please wait there, then. Huh? McCroy casts his gaze at everyone in the field in turn, finally setting his sights on you. What are you thinking? McCroy hears your question. He responds with nothing but a kind smile before addressing the crowd as a whole. All gladiators in attendance, please listen well. It would seem that this particular course of events is entirely my doing. No way. We still don't know what's fully going on. You can't just take the... I know it within my heart, and I also know that what lies ahead of us now will be my end. If I can settle this feat, then this strange dream world will disappear, and you all will be sent back to where you belong. I cannot back up such a claim, and I know it to be fact, for it rings true within my very soul. Don't think anyone's doubting you, McCroy. I mean, it's not like this is the first time we've been spirited away like this, or the second, or the third. Can't go. To say this is all your fault is ridiculous. You can't just take all the blame yourself. That ain't fair. You're right. It's not fair. It's even a bit selfish to me. McCroy turns his back to Kengo and lifts his twin swords to the sky. He then raises his voice on a commanding yell and proclaims, Beloved friends of mine, lend me your ears! This is the battle I must fight alone, for that is my will. Do not intervene! There's one thing that McCroy can assure, and it's something his future self, Fergus, can attest to. And that's that fate has come to pay its dues, so to speak, for McCroy was supposed to have died long ago. And so he prepares, of his own free will this time, to meet his end with no regrets. Here we go! Kengo, Cuba, Earthen! Watch me, please. Watch me walk this road of my own choosing. Watch me as I take the final steps of my youth! His words are filled to bursting with determination. His conviction leaves no room for doubt. No one can stop him now. Even if they tried extending a helping hand, it would not find its mark. His will has taken him beyond anyone's reach. Goodbye, my friends. May your youth be eternal. McCroy smiles. He always knew that his eventual farewell would be a sudden thing, and he was prepared for it. He turns to face the large army charging his way and sprints towards them at full speed. He thinks he's taking all the soldiers on by himself, makes him look cool or something. McCoy, please wait, don't do this. McCoy meets the horde of soldiers head on. Chasing behind him are you, Kengo, and Kima, though he has a significant enough head start that you're not likely to catch up easily. In fact, you have no chance to catch up at all, as a mass of soldiers allow McCroy to pass through the ranks, then form themselves into a solid wall blocking you from doing the same. It seems clear that McCroy is their one true focus. Everyone else is incidental. Ugh, get out of the way! McCroy, wait! McCroy continues to charge through the enemy's ranks alone. If I die here, this world should disappear, and everyone will be able to return to Tokyo unharmed. And I want nothing more than for those of you who slipped through the cracks with me to be safe. And perhaps, if it turns out my soulmate was among you all along, as I suspect, then to die for the sake of protecting that person most dear to me would be a worthy fate indeed. McCroy! Seth? What are you doing? You absolute moron! I don't care if this is your will, your testament, your dream, or your delusion. Did you even stop for a moment to consider how those of you, you stand to leave behind might feel? Yeah, I figured it'd be something like that. Come get me, soldiers! Come learn what it means to do battle against the mighty war, McCroy! In the name of my youth, I shall press ever onward, just as a hero should. Raphael who, by the way. But yeah, we are now going to continue with Valentine's episode 5, part 2. So this should be the last part of episode 5, but we still have an epilogue after this. But yeah, I didn't comment on this, but I hope you enjoyed chapter 11. It's I don't want to say anything because you didn't see it, so hope you enjoy it. Yes. If you're about to finish it though, I'm sure you've seen some things like Shiva and all that. Yeah, it was quite action-packed. I liked it.
In the wild, it's everyone for themselves, the true survival of the fittest. Do as you'd like with no regard for the natural order, and you're as good as gone. One must have a natural instinct to survive in order to persevere in this cruel environment. Perhaps that's why people always say I'm so wild. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. In this system, the only thing that matters is whether you live or die. Once upon a time, McCroick had pulled from the ground a great sword with a split hilt. Many said that the unique shape of this blade brought to mind the rudder of the ship. In time, it came to be regarded as a holy blade that only those chosen by King Arthur could extract. Interesting connection. Its bearer would then be bound to continue wielding it until the day of their death. So everyone knows about the sword in the rock story, or at least knows about it. As the story goes, whoever wields the blade would be given the role of balancer, one who represents the will of the world around them. His previous role was role of the prophet, though. Wait, let me see this. That's weird. Usually the sacred artifact doesn't actually give a rule, it only gives a rule, and the rule is defined by the person's soul. So, there's something different about this weapon anyways. This person would be charged with carefully balancing the scales of existence in search of the correct combination of weights to facilitate their own survival. It is a lonely burden to bear, for the balancer does not choose their paths with a particular destination in mind. Rather, the balancer chooses their path solely to live another day. McCroick suffered the same fate ever since he was chosen by the sword. And so it was he himself who proposed forging an oath with his dear acquaintance, the hero Satanta, that the two of them may grant the other alternating victories in battle. Arthurian legend placed in the log. Yeah, it seems so. Yeah, I'm getting... I don't know why I believed this before, but... Well, I guess I did. I was under the impression before that each world would only have like one kind of mythology, but it seems that the worlds themselves each individual world seems to be a smorgasbord of different mythologies. Perhaps one's more closely related than other ones. It was he who chose to follow his new love, Neb, into battle, bearing witness to the deaths of all those he knew and loved from his previous rule, while he himself forged ever onward. Sorry, I'm just like... I'm so low in oxygen in my brain right now. Bearing witness to the deaths of those he knew and loved from previous while he himself forged onwards. And it was he who chose to turn his back on his love and her kingdom of Connacht in order to return to his former home and provide much needed aid to those he'd only just conquered. This is when people began to say that Fergus McCroick was a wild man, the type of person who lived on instinct alone. He was even praised for it. But this reputation was unfounded. Being wild and living on instinct means always following one's desires. In McCroick's case, however, he was just doing what had to be done to survive. Oh, I see. So ever since getting the sword, he was no longer just like someone of great swordsmanship. Rather, he was forced to just survive, which led to some, unexpected results that seemed like out of nowhere, like him just, dipping on his love and then going to the other kingdom and all that, and making that pact with Satanta. He made his judgments based on the will of the world, and simply continued to follow it through to its natural conclusion. Nothing more. The only choice he made was the choice to bear that burden in the first place, and he quickly came to regret ever making it. That's why, at the end of his journey, he cast the sword, and the light that came with it, down to the very bottom of the lake spring. He forged himself one final tryst with Ned, and left himself alone in the woods. Med? I guess I mean sex. Exhausted by the momentous demands of the world, as well as immense vigor, he chose to plunge everything, his life and memories alike, into that spring with his sword. He threw away the he who could not choose his way to live, and what remained was the he who wished to regain his agency. He left the old Fergus to sink down into the depths of that spring, while the new McCroy wanted nothing but a world in which to do everything all over. So the McCroy we knew is the one who was seeking agency, and the Fergus in this collision seems to be the one who is just doing as the world of what the world wills. But it seems that he still had his own inner conflict from that. He didn't fully get rid of that, based on what we saw him going easy on us and not being able to use the rule. Through some miraculous event, I was thrust into the streets to wander. I was granted the impossible, a second chance at youth. The old world would not forgive my actions, but this new world accepted me whole. I forgot everything of my old self and the role I once had. I could enjoy the splendors of youth and you. However, that did not mean my past had been eliminated. One's past will always exist, and may even continue to progress in some far-off place. And if, through some odd twist of fate, I should ever come in contact with that alternate past, it's like we, too, would eliminate each other. McCroy's memories of his past life continue to cycle through his mind as he rushes forward, jumbling together into a massive of events and timelines that seem impossible to accept. He clutches one sword in each hand and slashes at his mirror double. It was only inevitable that they would engage in battle. After all, the universe is only big enough for one single McCroy. This fight will determine who is the real individual and who is the insignificant other. Only one Fergus McCroy can prevail. Oh, Lisa. Doe's mind spins like a top over the turn of events occurring in front of him. He watches the battle between the two Fergus McCroys unfold with great intensity. Shiva, Amaterasu, and Perun, who are each representatives of different guilds, being the Warmongers, the Rulemakers, and the Invaders. Just why would those two individuals, each carrying the role of fulfilling the world's will, be fated to meet in arms? Why is it not allowed for two people with the same existence to cohabit the same world? Perhaps the one who walks away from the battle alive is the one who's earned the right to continue using that identity. And in Tokyo, there is only one seat per person, as it were. The moment the two found themselves in the same world, they were destined to fight until only one remained. And whosoever among them has chosen the right of the hero will, in the end, be crushed by the will of the world. Is he talking about, like, the burden of representatives? In terms of, they all have the same existence of being the upholders of their world, but they cannot coexist, and so they have to fight? Interesting. The world has chosen my friend. It hadn't chosen me. And how Duo was just a replacement, or rather, a spare. Although we are born from the same gene pool, we are separated into real and fake through examination and screening. I myself am the fake. There's nothing I can do about that. I'm a failure. A flawed draft. Yeah, both Shuichi and Duo. That's why I had no choice but to escape. I surely would have been disposed of otherwise. And he's making a comparison to Fergus making his own escape from meeting his own twin. Well, I guess I'll just have to hope my brother can collect some useful data from the scene. Now I can see the similarities. Duro reflects on his friend who is no longer present. Bercho? I mean, I think he lived in the end. I'm not gonna continue that. He has come here with the express purpose of observing this fight. Ooh, this music. When are we gonna get the fucking dungeon stories translated? LifeWonders, Jesus Christ. We already have 3 dungeons and the first one's still not translated. Right, quick, sacred artifact in hand, handily cuts his way through the mob of soldiers.
Come at me! I'll take on all comers. I'll fight until my very last peaceful breath. Yeah! Take this!
Although he charges forward with all his might, there is one thing that still remains out of his reach. An irreplaceable choice of 2 in which he cannot only pick one. McCroick knows in his heart, purely through instinct, what the conditions are to make the strange environment to disappear. He must settle the fight between himself and Fergus. And he knows all too well that for this condition to be met, he must inevitably lose. The he that lived his life pretending to be a hero must not be allowed to outlive the evolution of the person he once was. After all, how can one who prioritizes his own will outlive one who prioritizes survival? That is an ineffable rule of this world, a hierarchy that cannot be undone. Well, now he's implying that it is Fergus, rather than McCroick, who is the bearer of the original will, rather than the bearer of the world. But McCroick charges forward all the same, if only to make amends for his past indiscretions. Okay, never mind. Actually, never mind. If he can prove his determination to Fergus, he knows something of him will remain behind, even if that something is but a mere idea.
Use! Snow, report please. Of course. As you can clearly see, the arena and audience seating alike have been subject to unexpected interdimensional phenomena. According to the wise men, we are witnessing what is known as a collision of worlds. And based on what we've been told by one of our collaborators, Ketchi, this would seem to be the world of Tirnanog.
Oh, yeah, I guess we did have that thing with Ketchi as well. Although we didn't have a collision of worlds, and then we had he kind of just showed up, Grinelkin into their world, through an intersection of worlds. Okay, it was a collision, I guess. But it didn't change the location, that's what I can say.
Tirnanog? So it's McCroick's homeworld, then? That is most likely so, yes. Furthermore... it will not budge! This door just won't open. That must be one heck of a door if it's not even the Great Horror Comic can open it. This way's no good either. Even the air vents are shut tight. There's just no plain way in. So the doors are locked and there's no other options at all. Meaning, this station's been completely sealed off. I mean, there ain't much else we can do. We're out of options. Let's just report all this to Claude. Kuma, Master! What in the world is happening in there? I certainly hope everyone's alright. We've been informed by the guild members and the other coordinators that all means of ingress from outside the arena have failed. So we have contact with the outside, but cannot leave nor can they get in, which means there's no evacuating the audience. Meaning, if we wish to find an amicable resolution to this problem, we're on our own, aren't we? Yes, Master Claude. I'm afraid that is so. Very well then. If they are to oppose us en masse, then we will simply have to respond in kind. And that's the situation as it stands. May we count on your support?
Snow's question comes a bit late, considering he's already at your side and helping to hold back the enemy lines. How did he catch up? It would be hard to say no at a time like this. Of course you have our support, but we can't leave without McCroick.
That works for me. Alp and I, along with Bathroom and the others, will look after the audience. Meanwhile, you lot.
We're going after McCroick, of course. It's the only thing we can do.
Your indecisiveness on this matter is greatly appreciated. Now if you would please come this way. What the? You're headed out into actual battle. Your gladiatorial outfits are not suitable for the dangers you face.
Yeah, there's no battle zone here. We're just gonna fucking die if we don't, prepare ourselves properly.
Ah!
The soldier's coordinated strike repels McCroy's sword with a fair degree of force, leaving him open to attack just for a split second as he recovers. That's all it takes, however. The soldier's move in practice sync, rolling over McCroy like a wave and rooting him in place before he even has a chance to regain his composure.
Ah! Let me go! Back off! Get away!
McCroy summons all of his leftover strength and propels the soldiers holding him down into the air, breaking himself free.
Okay, let's get this party off the ground now! Farewell, my beloved Tokyo. Farewell, my beloved friends. And farewell, Arthur.
The weakened and now limping McCroy continues his impossible one-man advance into the throng of soldiers ahead. This is the moment where I must
finally bid farewell to my glorious days of youth. Wait, what's this?
Instead of an encroaching enemy horde, McCroy sees before him a scrappy, ragtag group of misfits holding line, and holding it as well.
You came.
You fought for me back there. You're coming back to turn my back for you now? Come on! Yeah, it's like shooting Ollie says. In times like this, we all need to look out for each other.
We came here to do some fighting, and it's no fair keeping all the fun to yourself. Besides, we still got a score to settle.
We're here to help you, McCroy. You're not alone, especially not on Valentine's Day.
You four. Don't you know what's at stake here? You're all irreplaceable. Your youth is worth so much more than mine. You must not sacrifice it here.
I still don't even get what's going on around here, but one thing I do get is that you're just as irreplaceable as we are.
Me? Look around the battlefield. My replacement stands at the head of this army. When the dust settles, only one of us will remain. Then this illusory space will disappear as the other of us fades away. But if we do not fight, and one of us does not lie in defeat, this space will remain, and you all will be trapped here. And that cruel fate I cannot allow. I've mixed you up in my own personal hell. Allow me to follow my will alone.
As if to punctuate this entreaty, McCroy turns his back to you and defiantly marches towards the horde once more.
Why? Why can't you understand, Arthur? This is what I want! This is the fate I've chosen for myself! Why won't you let me walk this path?
You're the one who doesn't understand. This is what we've chosen too. Why won't you listen to us? You're clearly a fool, McCroy. Only a seasoned, self-righteous fool could be so dense.
You might be content with its decision, but think about how it affects the rest of us, you youth-obsessed Claude.
Okay, Claude, what the heck? This is in Steven Universe. A long time ago, I was left behind by my older brother. Can we not have him monologue mid-battle? He was a hero to me. He was always ahead of the pack. No one could ever keep up with him. He was the meanest, strongest, most peerless hero in the world. Yet he, somehow, always seemed so lonely at the top. Maybe I was just projecting my own feelings, but I didn't like seeing him alone. I wanted to do something. I wanted to keep pace with him. Something gaining the lead, sometimes losing it. The heck am I going on about? That's probably the least badass thing I could possibly talk about. Ugh. It's just what we needed here, don't worry. You really think so? Not really, no.
I agree with everything.
McCroy stares up in the sky at silence. The clouds above look just as he remembers from another life.
I'm not certain what to say. Seth. Aerothin.
At first, McCroy thinks he's remembered something else, but then it hits him. This isn't a memory, it's a realization. No, he must have a monologue mid-battle, else it's not out made up yet. Gotta get those filler clips in. Although, of course, we're not actually gonna see the battle animation either. On the day he made his oaths with Santanta, compromise and cowardice weren't the only factors at play. His agreement to exchange victories on the battlefield wasn't just for the sake of surviving. Rekorik also wished to prevent the world from losing that glorious hero whom he'd come to cherish so. He'd race along the world with Santanta if he could, leaving everyone else behind just to gain the slightest lead over the person he respected and adored so dearly.
You said it yourself, McCroy. It doesn't matter if you can't have it both ways. It's trying to... That's the fun part. So I'm sticking with you. I've got a long way to go, but I'm probably gonna get hurt. But I don't care. I'd never forgive myself if I let a friend or a mentor who took such good care of me go down alone. Cuba, you're right. You're absolutely right. I owe you all an apology. It was reckless, thoughtless, and even very unyouthful of me to strike out on my own. I was indeed a self-righteous fool.
There's the McCroy I know.
Despite all this rallying, however, I still can't foresee any end to this conflict that doesn't result in my undoing. I've racked my brain, but no solution has come to me. It's a frustrating conundrum.
Have you thought about defeating the other you?
It was a bit hard trying to follow along with everything. Who's this Fergus guy, and what's your relation to him?
McCroy quickly brings the rest of you up to speed on the events he's recalled from his homeworld, specifically focused on the oath he made with Satanta. Okay, so he's literally somebody you gotta fight with, like, pretty much by the laws of nature. And that's a tough one. Okay, so what he might be saying here is he's actually Satanta, but he's taking his name for some reason.
Well, here's the question. Why isn't you gotta resolve all this with one fight? Does it have to be a one and done?
Wow, look at Kengo with the big brain.
Yeah, I'm not much of a thinker. I fight with my fists. I don't think at all. I'm an idiot.
And then here he is coming with a pretty smart solution.
Think about me and my partner. I've been after him for a fight the whole time, but it wasn't gonna be our only fight ever or nothing. I plan to fight him again and again, you know?
The enemy watching the monologue and waiting for them to finish. For real. They were like right there too. Like seriously. Like you already went inside the lines. It's not even like they're about to approach. They should be in the middle of it already. What the fuck?
I get pumped when I think about our next match. Never used to care about that kind of stuff until I met him though. What are you trying to say, Kingo? You know, think of you and Fergus like me and my partner. Don't just fight once. Keep the fight going on forever. Say you do end up losing here. Well, then you can always settle the score next time. Next time? Hey, what gives? I know I ain't too smart, so what I said probably doesn't make any sense, but you don't gotta look so. Wait, that's it. You're a genius, Kingo! Seriously, please do not sell yourself short. Actually, he's saying a lot more smart things than half of the summoners we have. Except for maybe, like, Shiro. Huh? What do you mean? What did I say? And me. No, keep going. We got all day. I don't mean to butt in, but I've been listening, and it sounds to me like you've devised a solid plan. Shuichi, when did you get here? Were you in the arena? I came to observe these events from the front lines, and now that you've got a plan, all that remains is to put it in motion. You can count on me to provide cover. You'll also simply focus on the task at hand, please.
McCroy looks at you and suddenly recalls another dream he'd forgotten, in which the sky stood tall and clear.
Why have I been so blind all this time? Why didn't I not realize it sooner? If in fact that dream was a vision of the future, then it means my story does not end here. My youth! Something. My youth shall yet continue. I have borne witness to the youth displayed by all my friends, vigorously living their lives in this Tokyo.
McCroy gently reaches for the chocolates tucked away in his breast pocket. He tries to make sense of the vague memories that have found their way back into his head. He then stands up tall and looks toward his foe, with a renewed vigor reflected in his eyes.
My friends, lend me your strength! Help me overcome this, and give me the chance to see my youth through the bitter end.
McCroy clenches his fist and raises it to the sky, and everyone else follows his lead with a rousing battle cry.
You done there? They're coming.
Or were they just standing there all this time? Gladiators who previously stood in competition with each other for the Battle of the Valentines now stand side by side as the wind blows dust and debris across the plains. Bolstered by all the words of support, you stand prepared to push through the defenses of the seemingly endless army that stretches out before you, as far as the eye can see.
Our goal is to reach the back of their lines where Fergus stands. Once we do, you can leave the rest to me. Charge! What a sail! Ah!
Queen Medb of Connacht.
It was she who accepted me and granted me asylum after I had abdicated my throne and abandoned my country. I loved her like no other. She meant the world to me. Setanta. He was the great hero who fought with me upon my return to Ulster. He was a friend like no other. I value your friendship dearly. It was between that love and that friendship that I found myself so helplessly lost. And I had so many regrets. No, I didn't. Not about that. Not about being lost and uncertain. Because I had chosen that path. It was through my own will that I allowed myself to be lost and uncertain. I wanted it. I desired to be lost. With all of my heart and soul, I was determined to be consumed by doubt. I wanted to lose myself on a road no one had ever taken before. I wanted to challenge the future, making each and every decision not based on prior knowledge, but my own curiosity. I wanted that feeling of youth to last forever. I craved it.
The soldiers, fast approaching with intent to trample and subdue, are about to find that the tables have turned, and that the furor with which they fought will soon be reflected back at them.
Come, all you gladiators! Dive into the fray and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat!
Claude uses his sacred artifact to whip the encroaching horde into a confused frenzy, giving the gladiators a slight advantage. And with the slight advantage, the gladiators and audience members alike all continue holding the line, the prospect of returning home safe and sound at the forefront of their minds.
Aim and shoot! Come, Marin Matchmaker!
C3 scatters his feathers across the battlefield, trimming a large swath of incoming soldiers and rendering them absolutely useless in combat.
Nice assist, C3. These guys are armored to the teeth, but with your help, my kicks will kick even more ass. Huh? Who wants more? Come get some. Let's break it!
Help it, Al.
Go!
Ah, yes, I remembered that paper by Alp et al. It was very revolutionary. Should be submitted to the Nobel Prize Council, to be honest.
It's my turn. Always on me. This trick will be the highlight of the tale. 3, 2, meow. To the skies you go. That's right. Will they bring the heat to anyone who's gonna try and ruin Valentine's Day? Why is that? Because we are all Valentines.
Excuse me for my rudeness, but you do not have my drawing master's permission to proceed any further. Keep it up, everyone. Let's send them all for a whirl. Well managed things on this end. Our gladiators, we entrust you to advance forward and finish this. Oh man, this is a rather long part too.
Our objective is to break through their back line. Do not stop. Continue the advance at all costs. Nobody ever said this would be easy, but it's all worth it for a friend. I'll show them what a real badass can do. Over here, my friend. Let the dust rise and the wind blow. Orgateo! Let's knock these guys into oblivion. Heart of Chaos!
Amazing as ever. You really are a badass, Seth.
Your parents' a true sight to behold, Seth. I'm certain I'm not to let you upstage me. Don't patronize me. Also, eyes friend, something's coming right for us.
The soldiers chasing after you are blown up away by that sandstorm. However,
everyone, stay alert! Spears incoming. I'll take care of them, but I'm certain there will be more where these came from. Don't worry, I've got this. Let's knock them out of the air, David. I'll show everyone what a great team we can make. With a move that never misses, Goliath's Slider! Yeah!
Whoa, you hit every single one of them. You gained some confidence, Kima.
Nice pitching, Kima. I look forward to seeing it again on a baseball mound sometime. You bet. I'm absolutely brimming with confidence now. Hey, let's chit-chat. When you have to shoot, shoot. Don't talk.
I mean, you could have said that earlier, but sure.
It's one down, then on to the next. We can't stop till they're all laid out. So let's get moving. Alright, you know the drill, partner. Let's pull our strength and give these jokers our biggest, baddest, Giant Basher!
I'm not gonna call it Giant Dragon. I think that's what we call it in the story.
Much obliged, Kengo. You've carved the path through their defenses. At once, everyone! Forward! Charge! Ah!
Hey, there he is. I like the beginning a lot, but the second half is really turning out to be like Valentine's time Warp rehashed. Like we actually did fight a bunch of enemies too. Turn by turn was, you know, the variant gang, and then reached the past version of the new unit. So, like for real, that's kind of whack. Still, at least there was a lot of nice explanation with Solomon and the connection to Do and all that. I can see him. Progress is finally reaching within reach. Let's go, McCroy.
Yes, all together now, with youthful vigor.
Oh my god, my brain. I need air. Ugh. The Kitaro just fight clone characters. Yeah, pretty much with that explanation with Seth and Bale. Although I am surprised it took that long, because like Bale came a good amount before this event released, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, you know, very conspicuously just like the laziest clone ever created, just chilling out all that time. And then only after a good long period of time, you know. Oh yeah, it's intended that way because he's actually, you know, was cloned by, or split by Solomon to the 72 pillars. I mean, it's a cool explanation, but a bit overdue. I feel like I had a lot of salt already with, you know, Bale's lazy-ass design. So that means there should be clones for everyone else, including C-Tree and Batheme and... I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, to be honest. I know there's a good amount of the Solomon's demons. Eh. The two Fergus McCroiks go into battle. Each step they take cuts into the earth. Each swing of the sword sends ripples through the air. Having beaten and scattered about the defending armor, Kengo and the others fix their sights on a fierce combat unfolding at the end of the line.
Fergus, my other half, listen, and listen well. It was I who cast you away, who wished for a grand redo, but acted without due consideration for the consequences. Yet now, my mirror's reflection has been flipped, and I see it all from a new perspective. You see my true motives in forging the chaos with Satanta, and the true reason I came to regret it. Yeah. I shall no longer cast away the doubt that consumed me that day. Instead, I affirm it! Yes, that is how the one sword became two. I will ask you once again, Craig, what does use mean to you? Use is to flail and bite back with all your might, to embrace uncertainty, and never settle for an alleged inevitability. A person is only able to choose one path in life, and when you and I became separated, I thought that path split in two. But perhaps there's a third path, one which stands apart from the different roads you and I walk. In fact, I'm certain there must be. The very fact that we are both here now is proof that there's another way. There's an outcome all its own that just awaits us if we are to continue fighting from here on out, evermore. And I will never stop searching for that path. I will lose myself on road after road in pursuit of it, for that is my youth!
McCroy grabs a box of chocolates he had been pouring his emotions and thoughts into throughout his Valentine's Day, and, in one solid motion, hurls it at his mirror self.
You and I are not the same, and that's why you need me. Let us embrace our regrets together, yours and mine alike, and set out for the farthest reaches we could never attain alone. I will forever hold these doubts dear in my heart so that when my time finally comes, I can cross that line with a smile. But that time is not now. So come, join me, and let us fight on for a time immemorial, my dear memory of what could have been. I can stand by you in your times of suffering, and you can stand by me whenever I should fall.
What McCroy proposes is fusion, for he and Fergus to become one being, and within that one being to continue both fighting and facilitating each other forevermore. McCroy readies his sacred artifact, the two halves of the holy sword that's said to trace rainbows through the air when swung. Fergus simply laughs. There's no bitterness behind it, though. In fact, he's all smiles, looking more like McCroy than ever.
my beloved sacred artifacts. Now is the time for you to return to your rightful form. Youthful Stampede!
The light emanating from McCroik's sacred artifact grows brighter and brighter, and indeed begins to create vivid rainbow patterns in the air just as a prism would. The light overtakes and seemingly absorbs the shadows of both Fergus and McCroik, along with all collective memories of the two halves of the single soul. For a brief moment, the silhouettes of these two swords merge together in the air, appearing as one blade with a split hilt. Then, the rainbow light that fills everyone's vision begins to engulf the whole of this illusory wasteland.
Whoa! The door! It opened! Wait, what?
Everyone in the Colosseum stands in awe as Nomad and his groups suddenly swing open the door to the arena, which simply let go as if it had never given any resistance at all. The audience and all of the gladiators are right where they all belong, on the stage and in the stands. From an outside perspective, nothing is amiss.
I'm still snow-blinded from all that light, and I've got a splitting headache. But was that even real, or did they just eat something bad? Look, everyone! The ceiling's back! We're home! So it would seem. We are Valentines, and the others are waving back. We are Valentines, and the others are waving back to us. Hello, everyone! Did you see us in action?
McCroik, we did it. Did you find the youth you were seeking? McCroik says nothing in response at first, but instead begins frantically digging around his breast pocket, ultimately producing the chocolates he prepared for today's festivities. These chocolates contain within them now the very essence of his thoughts and feelings, and rightfully so. Given that he'd previously given them to himself alongside quite the confession. He gave them to himself. To Fergus. I vaguely remember that, but I was kind of not convinced he was actually beating the chocolates for himself. That'd be weird. But I guess it is what it is. It's his arc.
Today's events have been overflowing with youth, and the beating of my heart is unlikely to slow anytime soon. The souls of Fergus and I are sealed within these two swords. It is I who stands before you now, but in the future. He may come to the forefront without warning. We are destined to constantly overtake one another, and perhaps, one day, only one of us will remain.
Alright, so that's a nice near confirmation that that was indeed Satanta.
That is why there's something I need to do, or at least the memory of him. Everything. Well, I can. Hold up a sec, don't get ahead of yourself. You still owe me a fight, you know. So you can just keep those thoughts balled up tight till you paid your dues. Hey, yeah, that's right. You and King are supposed to be fighting it out, aren't you? You guys are still at it, even after everything we've been through? Ugh, no thanks. I'll be in the audience if you need me. You're not mistaken, Kango. We have unfinished business indeed. Claude, what of the remainder of this event? Indeed. The event was still underway when the collision of worlds occurred. How shall we proceed, my darling master? You are true gladiators indeed. Very well, let us conclude the festivities. Snow, please make the necessary preparations. As you wish.
Please conclude this in the epilogue because I am out of breath.
My dear friends, we have been granted opportunity in you to further exhibit our youth.
The spotlight shines down on the ebullient warriors as they are showered with applause and praise from the crowd. Even a nearly disastrous otherworldly encounter can't quell the fervor of today's Battle of Valentine's event, it seems. Battle of the Valentines. Proceed to Epilogue. We're so close. Almost there. Because, like, even when I am speaking, it's like, I'm actually, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm building a lot of exhaustion in my brain right now. Could be, like, what do they call it? Citric acid or nitric acid? Some shit that builds up when you exercise. Could be carbon dioxide. I'm just really tired. And my brain feels kind of cloudy. But yeah, we will now finish off with the epilogue. New world record? It is pretty late, but 3 hours is not the longest I've gone. You could see the Valentine time warp story playthrough to confirm, maybe even the what's it called? Meow Happy Illusion playthrough. There's a few playthroughs that have been longer than this. But yeah, 3 hours is obviously ideal. If it gets more than that, that's like my limit of being able to, I don't know, properly voice act everyone and carry my thoughts through and even continue a train of thought. But the true longest streams I've done were like 6 hours long during coin streams. In the very least for them, I didn't need to voice act. Right. But yeah, I've started splitting those into 3 hours, so it hasn't been a problem for a while. But yeah, I have done 6 hour streams before. Never again. Deep breath. Yeah, for real. Gonna fucking collapse after this. I need to prepare some important things for some other stuff after this. But early time. The demons, or the pillars of Colosseum, rather. There once was a great king who traversed many worlds and subdued 72 demons. Upon doing so, he gave a rank, a hierarchy to each. See, this is more important than like other mythologies in relation to Housamo, just because, yeah, King Solomon has importance to us, the protagonists, as well. As a successor to the almighty David, he was able to overcome any conundrum with ease, as if he already knew everything there was to know about the world around him. Huh. So King Solomon is the successor to David, and so that means that's implying they're both from the Bible. And David being the guy tagging along with Kima, that's a really unexpected connection between the two. One of his most famous acts was resolving a dispute between two women, who each claimed to be a particular child's mother by suggesting the child be split in two, prompting quick reactions. Yeah, everybody knows that story. The Bible has some pretty good stories, to be honest. I never like read what's called the Bible in full just from the raw text, but when I was a kid, I had this children's book that had like pictures for everything, and that was colored, and yeah, it was a good way to learn about it. Very interesting parables and all that. They say he held within him the unique ability, akin to a system, to weigh a person's good and bad sides, and assign them a hierarchical position based on which is heavier. Weigh a person's good and bad side and assign them a hierarchical position. Though to him, there was no process involved. He could see a person's rank with the naked eye. It required no measurement, no effort, no skill. It was simply in his nature. How could one such as this even exist? How could someone have such a perfectly realized power at their disposal? Was there really no sway in that wise king's heart over what good and what was bad? No prejudice, no deception? Had he never even once been swayed by love and emotion, and struggled to reach an answer? Had he truly not once ever doubted his own beliefs? I was under the impression that King Solomon from the Bible and the Solomon of, like, demonology were different, but in Housamo at least they seem to be the same. So I might look up on that later to see if they are actually the same or not. Even if he had, there is no doubt he would have cast such ambivalence aside in order to maintain the fair and just system he brought into existence. Now I imagine this wise king truly... I don't know why I did that. I thought I said I am losing action. Now imagine this wise king truly had cast away every bit of that uncertainty, just as a certain other someone has. Where exactly would that fragment of dubiety fall? And where would it wash up after drifting for a time in the endless ebb and flow of corporeal existence? Which world would the struggle to address such unanswerable questions ultimately find its way to? Solomon, that's the name of the wise king in our story. And in time, there would form a guild whose members believed themselves to be akin to Solomon's successors, adopting a name that matches that perception, the wise men. They were the inheritors of the doubt and uncertainty split off from Solomon himself, not unlike the descendants they fancied themselves to be. And they would come to reside in Tokyo. Inheritors of doubts and uncertainty split from off Solomon himself. Not unlike the descendants they fancied themselves to be. So Duo and Shuichi seem to have inherited something. Some doubts of what's good and bad from Solomon himself. I think that's what I'm getting at here. Duo Lisa. We are the Hongo Wise Men, our name taken from the three kings of the Orient, or the three wise men. As Guildmaster, I hereby declare that all data acquisition has been completed as planned. King Solomon has worshipped the Abrahamic god, but later in his life, other gods which led to the myth of him being a demon summoner. Really? That is fascinating. That is super cool. Seriously? That is an unexpected physical connection. Presuming King Solomon is real, which is highly plausible since maybe, they might make up some miracles, but it'd be hard to make up things like lineage or, kinglyhood. So he's probably a real figure, and I don't know, that's just interesting how he's tied to two different religions like that. Well, not religions, mythologies. Religion/mythologies. As Guildmaster, I hereby declare that all data acquisition has been completed as planned. But I do want to confirm that myself later. Therefore, this case shall formally be considered closed. Ah, good timing, Shuichi. Welcome back. Did you miss me, my dear brother? Has your research here provide favorable results? It has. At the very least, I can say there was a significant merit in taking on this assignment. Duo Lisa. We have all the data he sought, and it clearly indicates a viable course of action. All that remains is to take it. So they were in it for personal merit. That merit seeming to be the collision of worlds and its resolution of McRoik with Fergus. And their connection was... What was their connection? Something about having the same existence, not being able to continue that existence because in the same world as a result, just like with the representatives and just like with Duo as well as the other three geniuses. So maybe they got some insight from that in relation to themselves as geniuses in their own permitted existence. I found the underlying equation as well, and it's as simple as it can be, just basic arithmetic. 24 times 3 equals 72. Well, there are 23 worlds, but 24 if you include Tokyo. And now we're multiplying it by 3. What is the relation? It equates to the equilibrium of the 23 worlds plus Tokyo that has become embroiled in this endless game loop. So there's a connection there. Interesting. Specifically. Oh yeah, and there's also 3 true guilds. So are they saying that there's like a split there with the world representatives from each of the things? I'm not sure about that. I don't think Bale is a world representative. If he is, then that would be implying that all the Solomon's things are, which C3 definitely is not. Specifically, one side is summoning circle representing worldly balance, and the other is the 72 pillars. The game and its construction were based on formulas derived from this. Hold on, I need to set. One side of what? That's what I'm trying to get. One side is a summoning circle. One side of what? Representing worldly balance, and the other 72 pillars. So the 72 pillars. Wait. Now the question is if there's 72 pillars in total. That is to say, if all the pillars are from Solomon, or if the 72 pillars are different from the pillars from other people. Because like Solomon already seems to be, the walker between different mythologies, between Abrahamic religion, as you put it. I keep on saying want to say this, but Abrahamic is a lot better to put it. Between the Abrahamic religion / mythology to that of other ones. So that's interesting in terms of things like Korpikers versus Tangaroas versus Kijimuras. Do they all have a pillar from him? There might be 72 demons. And I know they like to equivocate pillars of sacred artifacts to like making them to the transient themselves. So I'm not really sure which it's referring to, whether it's sacred artifact or the what's called the holders of them. But yeah, definitely C3 is not a holder of one of the pillars. So maybe there are two distinct things. Wait. The triangle is the most stable shape in this world, which is why the number of worlds is multiplied by 3. Female, male, and other. Love, friendship, and other. Everything is arranged in threes. Everything in perfect balance. Okay, so in this way, it's not really threes, it's more like binary opposite relationships and that have a sort of like exception category to it. Other. That which exists out of male-female, outside of love and friendship. That's the key to everything, isn't it? The exceptions. You seem to have gotten lost in your thoughts. Are you alright, dear brother? The game is also a gestalt created by the walls, the demon pillars, and 3 geniuses overwatched by King Solomon and Mononobe. Game is a gestalt created by the walls, the demon pillars, and 3 genius overwatch. I feel like something in there might possibly be spoilers. I don't think they explain it that clearly in up to chapter 11. So I'm gonna pretend I didn't read that. I'm fine. Stop being so clingy, please. Just let me finish this thesis. Duo ignores the dull pain in his chest and continues on with his dissemination. Creation is governed by the vessel containing the 72. Creation is governed by the vessel containing the 72. Which represents the stability of the hexagram, existing as it does in an endless loop not unlike the constellations. Containing 72, which represents the stability of the hexagram. God, why do they have to put all the brainy stuff at the end when I'm out of breath? Creation is governed by the vessel of King 72. There's a vessel. I do believe they mention us as vessels, but they also mention sacred artifacts as vessels, which represents the stability of the hexagram, existing as it does in the endless loop, not unlike the constellations. The fuck? This is so confusing. Whatever. And even a world pillar like Makroik has proven himself able to choose a third option from a set of 2, stabilizing his existence and escaping the collision of worlds unharmed. There was actually an entire sub-chapter named Third Choice within the main scenario quest. I believe that's an important theme in this game overall. One of the themes is like, all forms of love. Another being not being caught up into your own personal world too much. And this one of, there's always more than the choice presented to you. There's more than just 2. There's a third choice, if you will. The one that you have to find yourself. Some may call it a miracle, but the bottom line is, Makroik clawed his way back into the fold, back into existence even, against all odds. By conclusion, in order to disrupt the game in Tokyo, we will need to embrace the other and break free from this triangle. Do consider the fact that despite his incalculable genius, he's nothing more than a spare tire in case one of the other 3 children goes flat. Those 3 are the ones to be feared. They are the 3 wise men assembled in Tokyo to create a strong and sturdy triangle. That's a triangle which must be destroyed. The 3 true guilds, the 3 wise men. Oh, that's neat. But they call themselves wise men, which are separate from the 3 true geniuses. I guess 3 is an important symbol. Although we haven't really seen it besides, 3 true guilds before. A 3rd choice, huh? I must not continue existing as an understudy to them duo things. As a replacement, I must become a 4th point altogether, transforming the triangle into a square. I know that was supposed to be profound, but that just sounds silly. A square doesn't have the same bounce as a triangle after all. It opens the door to a 2x2 split vote, where no majority can be determined. In order to become a 4th point, however, it is imperative I learn to stand alone. I'll never achieve my goal by relying on others. Okay, so 3 is the current status quo. And what Duo is saying is we need to make it not 3-like. Whatever that means. And that's why I need to start doing things on my own. What do you mean? Duo lowers his voice to whisper and mumbles an answer under his breath, seemingly both expecting and hoping Shuichi won't hear him. Speak up, little brother. Don't be shy. You know I'd do anything for you. I hope you enjoy Mind Break. Thank you. With this little bit of time we have left together, Shuichi, I think maybe we should. Never mind that right now. What's going on outside? The event should be over, but it still sounds rather lively. Well, you know how it goes. Even after the final stage is concluded, tensions are still running high, so of course. Battle of the Valentines. White Light of Glory. Epilogue.
Kenshi, up, face this one. Oh, we are both so cute. That's it, just like that. You're looking super sexy.
The Valentines happily approach the long line of admirers in the audience. Wait, the final stage ended already. I didn't realize. The Valentines happily approached the long line of admirers in the audience. Okay. I wonder who won.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Oh, just where is a special finale scheduled to happen again? Marshmallows and chocolate and cookies to boot? Those sweets are gonna be real hoot.
God damn it, I'm hungry again.
Now we're back, Meow. The crowds are only gathering in the entrance. There's plenty of space inside, so don't worry.
With all the regular and bonus rounds of the Battle of the Valentines now concluded, the time has come to move on from fighting to pure celebration. And so, the day after the event, prospective partygoers gather in droves in plaza just by the Ikebukuro Colosseum entrance, forming a long line that snakes and weaves its way throughout the space.
Snow, report. What is the current celebratory situation? Yesterday, we witnessed a grand display of battle, bravery, and giving. And as planned, we've drawn an even bigger crowd today. We've published photos for those who wish to show off their gifts and their victories, and it's proven to be quite a hit. How splendid! Just look at these powerful gladiators in action, expressing their feelings throughout displays of strength. We have no doubt there are hidden gladiators among these new faces today as well. Snow, let us away to the confectionery. Of course. It's right this way. Please do change into your apron before we arrive, though.
Cooking stations and an arena, huh? Looking like a shokugeki on me. Looks like another 2-stage event. Guess there's a day. There's a day two to this thing.
Wahoo! So many people, so many chocolate, so many marshmallows, so many cookie. This one, Garmer's special recipe, marshmallow and cookie. We all make together. You make with Garmer.
Garmer runs along the Colosseum in pure bliss. The people lined up all hand him bite-sized sweets as he approaches them in turn. Today, the Ikebukuro Colosseum has been transformed into a massive kitchen area for making confections, and it looks like the audience participation is going to play a big role this time.
Garmer, good boy.
Yeah. So I had this much, right? Then add some sugar and milk.
I hate measuring things.
Can I just mix in however much I want? Mood.
Good doggo.
And why do we need the apron? We're just making chocolates, right? Someone get the manager. Who's in charge here? Oh no, Kengo's turning into Karen. I'm sorry, but my crush is over with you.
I'd like to speak to your manager.
As his hair grows into very Karen-esque.
You rang?
Oh wow, that actually worked. So, why are we making sweets?
Pretty sweet setup you got here.
I will bludgeon your head if you make a joke like that again.
That's our bludgeoning bridegroom for you. Always a witty retort at the ready. It seems only fair that I explain the true intent behind this confectionery corner. Your valiant exploits yesterday were beheld with such passion, we thought perhaps the audience might wish to participate directly. Of course, most cannot fight, but if they were to join you all in the making of sweets, wouldn't that not just be as thrilling? In this event, your rank will be determined solely by the quality of your confectionery. May glory be with you.
So, in other words, you're just using us to draw a crowd. What gives?
Hey, I'm talking to you. Get back here, Claude.
Watch and learn from the people around you, Kengo. You'll no doubt come to enjoy the event too.
Are you content to leave it at that, Master Claude, without even telling them the true purpose of today's event? They needn't hear it from us. They'll come to understand soon enough as the day unfolds. All things within this world, and all desires of this world, have a known and unknown, a surface and an ulterior. We may only walk one path at a time, so it is inevitable that we will come to regret the road unchosen. What if they allow themselves to become entangled in that regret? We fear they may not survive to see what awaits at the end. Our champions understand what it means to fight in a war, even a great war of tremendous skill. Yet what awaits them from here on is not war, but revolution. It's the kind of fight that topples entire belief systems. What we have prepared is but a dry run for the revolution, to familiarize our gladiators with what truly lurks inside them.
It's a lot of big talk for chocolate making.
Well, let's have no more talk of schemes and deception. Let us walk the arena and see what our competitors are up to, Snow. As you wish, Master Claude. I shall follow your lead.
I've made so much chocolate I could teach others a thing or two. I'm a pro, yo! Hey, check it out. I made bite-sized chocolates, and, I mean, if you want to try some, that's totally fine by me. I don't care.
Whoa, Seth, you're even more sincere than me. Your chocolates look really good. It's like they came right off of shore stuff.
I mean, thank you, but, like, I'm a badass. Should a badass really be taking pride in chocolate making?
No need to overthink it. Badass or no, making people happy is something everybody can enjoy. Take all the pride you want. Besides, I don't really get the whole badass persona thing. Why do you want everyone to see you as some kind of big bad boy?
Why do you even need to ask? I want people to see me as... because that's the way I am, of course. I'm 100% badass.
Whoa, you are, Seth! You're the coolest little cats. I want to be just like you. A badass. But able to make awesome chocolates, too.
Thank you, C-Tree. Maybe I'm worried over nothing after all.
Ugh. Everyone else's looks so good, I can't possibly keep up. Chocolate making just isn't my thing. It could be. A few things in life require as much subtlety and delicacy as chocolate making. It's a great challenge. You say that, but it's hard to see the importance in such a menial task. Just look at the chocolate they've made over there. That is what due diligence and strict adherence to the recipe gets you. Wait, that? Is that chocolate? That sounds real. Can I really take a bite of it without breaking my teeth? Oh my god, I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. No. I guess this'll do. Whoa. Is that a chocolate? Star map? It's so detailed, it looks like it could be used by sailors to plot an accurate course. Detail is my specialty. The question now is, what do I do with this chocolate? Who do I give it to? Give it to me. No. I mean... I'm gonna be over there. I know. I should give this Moritaka and Garmer for helping us out earlier. Oh no! It's not the main scenario quest yet. You're not supposed to mind break him yet. To look me right in the eye, after I communicated my desires so plainly, and still deny me without missing a beat. Truly, my dear brother is a pro. I can barely see through my tears. Oh my god. Duo really knows how to twist a knife. Duo, I am deeply honored by your thoughtful gift. I don't think I should accept, but neither do I wish to offend. Moritaka, that's a gift from my little brother you're talking about. Stop messing around and just take it. The conundrum. What to do? Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. Finished. What do you think of these cookies, David? I used black and white dough to make them look like baseball uniforms. I even made one from the rugby and sumo clubs. I talked with my friends earlier, and I arranged now for Valentine's makeup chocolate exchange. Hope they like these. Making chocolates is easy to learn, but hard to master, even in Snow's lecture. Still, these are delicious. Nice work. Bet your teammates will be happy to get these. They'll cry tears of joy. Mind if I step in and try making some too, Kima? Daisuke! Sure, that'd be fine, but what are you doing here? Well, you know, I was just passing by and stuff. Do I want to bake something? Let's see. 350 degrees. Is this, who is this? 450. If that's what you were talking about, how about 14,000? Someone extreme, probably. Knock on? No, it's Katsuga. Pretty sure that get me some looks. Haha. Let's go. Katsuga! The roof is literally on fire. Huh? I could have sworn I'm hearing lyrics from somewhere. Loneliness. Alone. Requilled. What a sad song. Oh, for a second I thought he was talking about Kasuga because of the Lian and Kasuga supposed synergy. Oui. Hey there, Lian and she. What are you up to now? Something creative, no doubt. Oh, hey, Samna. Get off my turf, you backline support. No, that's nothing. That's nothing. I just thought I heard a mournful voice crying out for help. Oh, okay. Well, hey, check this out. Anybody who participated in this event gets a special gift. This is from a sponsor site. Oh, what a pretty afternoon tea set. And a charming little stand to go with it. Perfect for sandwiches or cakes. How lyrical. I should get all the creators together, along with my students from the Art Academy, for a tea party. Good idea. Can I invite Valentine and Arachne too? I'm very anxious, but it won't cool any faster by watching it. At least I don't think it will. You are correct. It will not. But there's a certain thrill in waiting. The mind begins to race, plan, to dance. For instance, I'm considering chopping the chocolate before melting it next time, for better texture. Learning a new skill and putting it into practice is all part of once. Come now, say it with me. Youth! I get that. I do like iterative improvements. You know, it all makes sense now.
I look forward to my finished product. Making chocolate is tough work.
Whee! Arr! Valentines! Everyone's having such a good time. This Valentine's holiday is truly a memorable act in the play of youth. It seems that everyone, no matter what tale they have to tell, has something they strive for on this holiday. If that isn't the essence of youth, then what is? And of course, I count myself among those with goals in their hearts. All that's left now is to wait and see how my chocolates turn out. And while we do, well, I've come to a resolution. There's something I'd like to discuss with you, in private if possible. Would you come with me, Arthur?
We have to get back before dark, though. Sure, where are you going?
What are we gonna do on the bed, Pomp?
Quake turns to look at you, and chuckles a bit at your quizzical expression as he leads you to a very specific spot. Welcome to the top floor observation deck. Due to today's Valentine's Day event, access is restricted to authorized personnel only. We apologize for any inconvenience. Oh wow, that's a background I've never seen before. Pretty. Wow, check out that view. Are we authorized personnel now? Look at all set for winning.
It's one of the tournament prizes, specifically prepared in this spot to forge the most glorious possible memories. Like a wedding hall in the sky. Quite the appropriate setting to share one's feelings, wouldn't you say? Due to my standing in yesterday's tournament, I've been granted the privilege of using it to my liking for a time.
Not gonna say what it is specifically. Quake reaches in from his front pocket and pulls out some chocolates he's prepared.
I want you to have these. I poured all of my useful thoughts and emotions into them, as other useful substances.
Quake, thank you. You sure it's okay?
The very first time I saw you at Bukuro Academy, and then again when I first caught sight of you in Colosseum. I knew this chocolate was destined to be yours, and yours alone.
I feel like his friends are just playing along with Daisuke with him, pretending to be, to not be Taurus Mask. Some of them seem to think it's super obvious, but others actually seem to not know. So it's like, obviously for the protagonist, it's like, whatever, obvious, but for some of them, it seems like they're unsure. Like, I believe Ashigara is one of the people who's unsure. I think there was something else like that at some point too. Was playing along. Oh yeah, with Ibaraki and Shuten. Even though it's super obvious, Shuten's like, oh, the mysterious lady who comes to save the day again. And then after the 3 seconds there, he's like, oh, there you are, Ibaraki, where were you? So, yeah, it's not the first time that we have Dunces being paired with them.
Perhaps it was a vision of my own future destiny. Call it what do you like. I simply call it inevitable.
Love nectar cookies. Like that one meme.
Those are my cummy cookies, my hero.
I don't know what to say. Is this friendship chocolate, or are these your true feelings?
Friendship or love? Such a difficult question. One that I am not quite certain how I can answer. To call it love would be painful in its own way, yet to call it friendship would seem a bit lacking. If it's neither of the two, then perhaps it is a third option. An other. Yet that almost seems craven to suggest. My words may seem harsh, yet know that they are also tinged with sadness that I cannot make this choice. I may not be able to answer clearly now, but someday, I know I will. I promise you that. What is in my heart is not merely love, nor is it friendship. It is something deeper. And when I can determine what that is, I finally understand that the third path, the path I've chosen ultimately leads. The search for the answer itself, endemic to youth. So please consider these chocolates to be fragments of that youth. I so desperately want you to have them, because hiding somewhere within them is the true me. So please, Darthan, will you take them?
Of course, my Kroik. I'll take your full length. Happy Valentine's Day. The Kroik passes you the chocolates and then immediately looks up at the sky. Reflected on those glass panes under the beautiful blue skies are the two of you standing together. And within that reflection, a look of sudden realization pops onto McCroyk's face.
I see. I understand it now. That vision, I foretold of this very event. Then, so it shall be. For the last time, Fergus McCroick will make another chaos, another pact.
McCroick readies himself to declare his final vow. After a deep breath, he's just about to utter his first words of it when... There you go.
Hey, where you guys been? The party's already started. Get back inside.
You guys are finally back.
I was starting to think you'd skipped out on us. Yeah, we couldn't wait forever. Sorry. Come on over here, though. There's a ton of food. Oh no, there's food.
Way worse than me. After leaving the observation deck, you and McCroick find yourselves smack dab in the middle of the Battle of the Valentines after party.
You both were gone for quite a long time, but then, it were glad this was much to work out, no? This calls for another toast. Everyone grab a glass. With a party of this grandeur, we could toast again and again all night. Happy Valentine's Day, Lisa. Happy Valentine's Day! Happy Valentine's Day! Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day! Happy Valentine's Day!
Congratulations! Congratulations! I haven't eaten yet either. Oh no! Hey, you have the excuse of just walking out and getting your food and then coming back to you. I can't do that. Oh my gosh, I'm so low in food. Amongst all the cheers and applause, everyone begins to toss marshmallow-covered cookies into the air. The Colosseum lights catch the whites of the haphazardly flying marshmallows as they reach the apex of the arcs, creating what almost looks like a light show from a disc ball.
It would seem that our youths have quite the road ahead of them. I hope you're watching, Fergus, as well as all the others I've crossed paths with so long ago. I will carry my memories of you with me always, until the final days of the second chance I've been granted. Yo, McCroick! Get your head out of the clouds! At times like this, isn't there something special you want to shout out?
Joke's on you, I'm eating while watching.
How dare you, Ezekiel, how dare you!
Sorry, that's my I'm so hungry.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the party's really gotten started until you say something about youth. I'll shout it with you if you just want. Just spit it out ready, will you, McCroick?
I'll begin just like this. Seems alright to end it with it too. You ready, McCroick?
Well, if you insist. Listen, one and all, as I, Fergus McCroick, raise my voice once more. In the name of youth!
His voice echoes throughout the Colosseum and even out into the streets of Ikebukuro. Fergus McCroick, second-year transient student in the Bukuro Academy Kendo Club. His journey, youthful and extravagant, has only just begun. And he's not alone on that road anymore. In fact, he never was. Battle of the Valentines. End. And so is the end of my life. But we'll just mosey on over to the guild room before I give my final thoughts. And so ends the story. Hot damn. This was indeed a long event, as you knew. I do think the first two streams were nice and short, but you know, the middle one was actually kind of long. And this one was now approaching 4 hours. I am gonna die. Holy shit. So, my thoughts on this final part, as well as the story overall. McCroick's arc was a bit confusing, but then again, it did end not really in a true ending. He picked the third choice of not really, you know, choosing to either die or to defeat the other, but rather to defer the option until the day comes where he defeats Satanta, or whatever his name was, Satanta, and or slash Fergus slash Meb, or whatever that representation is supposed to represent. Hey, yo, you're heading up already? All right, see you around. I'm just gonna go finish up my thoughts before I close out. But yeah, yeah. So my correct strike was alright. It was a bit confusing, and I really did not like the fact that it was pretty much just Echo's story 2.0, but they were able to get some new aspects out of it, especially in relation to Duo's situation, was him trying to analyze him and finding that there is a connection indeed between them, and in terms of shared existences and just third choices and all that. As to how that amounts to an outcome in the story eventually, we'll just have to find out. But it seems that Duo seems to have already that plan in motion of working alone, which is why it led to him excluding Shuichi during that short period of time. He seems to disrupt the threeness of the three true guilds, so maybe his presence is gonna, break the stability as he sought. And it seems that explicitly now, as Duo said, he wishes to end the game. Not necessarily win it, but just to end it or break the game's loop. So we'll see how that turns out. That's in really, it's nice to confirm at least one guild's objectives. But yeah, it was a rush. It certainly was. I was like, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure. Like I'm told I'm a fast speaker, so it's like the fact that it took 4 hours. It's like either I was like really running out of breath that I was going much slower later, which I don't think I was, or I was definitely running out of breath though. Or that it was just like this event might have taken like naturally 5 hours long for someone who was reading it in their head. Then again, reading out loud is always a bit slower. No, a lot slower than thinking it. So that's just my fault, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed the story if you haven't heard it though. I love to discuss lore with you in streams. Yeah, it was definitely insightful to learn about the Solomon thing. I hope we... Now that, Sat's Bale's existence actually is justified, hopefully I remember to look up Solomon after the stream. But yeah, hopefully, now I'm actually curious to see more clones, just to see, the connection more elaborated on, because, Seth still seems to be the weird, notable exception where you happen to know both the original as well as the split. Echo 2.0 Electro Boogaloo, for real. It was not cool, especially when they still gave them the exact same sprite with the exact same evil eye, to see that their past selves to, resolve their past issues of, the past, or either trying to let it go or something. And I guess the resolution was a bit different. Echo decided to just keep her memories or something, and keep the pain with her as a special memory. But never mind, that was kind of the same with Bakurai. He ended up just wanting to retain, own up to his doubts, and keep those doubts. And at the very least, there was a new perspective in terms of not seeing doubts as a bad thing always, but instead as something that is part and parcel, part of the experience of youth, and something to enjoy while you can, before things you end up accidentally forcing yourself into perceived inevitability of things. The lore was a little hard to follow, but I love when they included events. Yeah, it was pretty hard to follow, but I feel like we got a better understanding of it eventually, because they do elaborate on it more and more every now and then. And plus, we haven't really seen an official section with Solomon. So the moment we do see King Solomon, I feel that we'll get a lot more of recap as well as proper explanation for everything, how everything connects. I'm still waiting for that everything connects moment, but it's a gotcha, so they could prolong it for as long as delay it as long. But I'm enjoying this story. I'm enjoying it. It's not like there's nothing being fed to us. Anyways, this isn't the discussion about the entire main story quest, even though it seems like this event came along. So I'll just leave it there. Thank you for everyone who joined me in this stream. I know it's been long, but now is the end. So thank you, Prisma. Thank you, Radel Santo. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Azino. Prisma, I think it's Prisma. Ezekiel, Joe. A lot of other people. Godly rival. Everyone. Thank you. And I will see you guys whenever the next event happens, I guess. So have a good one. And bye-bye.